On high school football game of the week.
All right, good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome in high school football week 10 right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station 1410 Wing AM. I'm Justin Kinner alongside College Football Hall of Famer, former NFL Pro Bowl running back, former Buckeye, Dayton's own Keith Byers, and with you here in week 10 of the high school football season, the Springfield Wildcats on the road here taking on the Northmont Thunderbolts, and that is our week 10 ESPN Dayton high school football game of the week. Excited to be with you here for our 10th straight week. I can't believe we're already wrapping up the regular season here tonight. The playoffs coming up just around the corner. Springfield right now making their way out onto the field, and the band for Northmont out on the field as well as they're ready to welcome Northmont. Again, the fans here are loud. They're excited. It's a great atmosphere here in Inglewood again as we're getting set to call the game for Northmont and Springfield coming up right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station 1410 Wing AM. The Springfield Wildcats come in 7-1 right now overall, 5-1 in GWAC play, of course, and then there's the Northmont Thunderbolts right now. 5-4 overall, 2-4 in conference play. Now Springfield, again, keep in mind, they only have 8 games on the season. This is only their 9th game here as we sit here in week 10. If you remember all the way back, that game with St. Ignatius back early on in the season, that game was rained out and canceled. So that explains why they have played one less game than everyone else right now in the conference. But nonetheless, it all comes down to this, the regular season finale, both for the Northmont Thunderbolts and the Springfield Wildcats. We'll step away for 90 seconds. We'll have kickoff. We have the Northmont Thunderbolts, the Springfield Wildcats. It's our week 10 ESPN Dayton high school football game of the week coming up next.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that Auto Trader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with Auto Trader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home, or that I could shop by price on Auto Trader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy Paint Applicators, and GRK Screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Do you enjoy sports betting and fantasy sports? If so, it's important to know that gambling's not a way to pay bills or earn income. Learn how to set limits and recognize the warning signs for problem gambling by visiting beforeyoubet.org. You can also assess your risk by taking the responsible gambling quiz. BeforeYouBet.org provides free resources to help keep gambling safe and fun for Ohioans. Be a fan with a plan this season and go to beforeyoubet.org to learn more.
Hi, this is Staples.
So rumor has it that Staples has everything I need to ship.
That's not a rumor. We have all the shipping supplies and services you need.
Boxes?
Yep.
Mailers?
Yep.
And I can actually ship there, right?
We have UPS right here in store.
Huh. What will Staples think of next?
Right?
No, seriously, I'm asking, what will they think of next?
Staples has all your shipping supplies and UPS service in store. And right now, get 25% off UPS Express shipping services. Staples, the best kept secret in shipping. Ends 12/31. Valid only in Staples U.S. stores.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byers with you here. Friday Night Lights here on Dayton's ESPN radio station. The Northmont Thunderbolts, the home team, welcoming in the Springfield Wildcats. And excited to be hanging out with you here on this Friday night. Again, Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here, bringing you the action here tonight. Week 10 of the high school football season. Officially, the season will wrap up tonight. The playoffs coming up around the corner. Pretty excited for that, of course. Nonetheless, very interesting. Very interesting matchup tonight, as we talked about again with Springfield and Northmont going head-to-head. Both teams in Division I Region 2 right now, and the Springfield Wildcats at 7-1. They are ranked number 2 right now out of Region 2. And it's a big opportunity for them, of course, as we currently sit here right now. It's the first time we've had a chance to see Mo Douglas's Springfield Wildcats here this season. Shondelmeyer, the starting quarterback for the Wildcats. A lot of praise for this kid coming in who's just had a ton of weapons to work with. We'll talk about the defense, of course, a ton for the Wildcats, but we all know it starts on the offensive side for them as that really helps carry them. And then we'll talk, of course, about Northmont coming up here around the corner as well. It will be Northmont who will receive here, and they'll get an opportunity here on their senior night to get things going here in Inglewood. A lot of big games around the Miami Valley here tonight, especially within the GWAC. Got the big one, of course, here tonight, Springfield at Northmont, but Springboro at Miamisburg, another big one. Wayne at Centerville. We'll be keeping you updated on all these scores throughout the evening. So, all right, again, Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here. And Keith, again, it's one of those things where earlier in the week we thought that, the temperature outside, it was freezing. We even golfed out in the winter temperatures earlier in the week. And tonight it's a little warmer, but it's a perfect fall night here to wrap up the regular season. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, we started off the football season on Friday night on a glorious, sunny Friday afternoon and evening. And here we are, nice Friday night with another good game. In the first play, Northmont starts off with a positive play with a nice 8-yard run up the middle.
Yeah, it was a 1st and 10 from their 28-yard gain, as you talked about, Keith. 11:46 to go here already in the first quarter after the very first play from scrimmage here for the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts have their work cut out for them again. They've been a very up-and-down team throughout the season, Keith. They've beat some good teams. They've lost some games they shouldn't, but they have a great opportunity here to take out one of the top teams in the state heading into the postseason.
Yeah, everybody's going to be watching. With Northmont, what's been happening for them, it depends on, how they start the game. If they get off to a fast start, they seem to be competitive in those games. And in other games, they come out a little flat and get behind the 8-ball, and it's hard for them to play catch-up.
Yeah, so right now, again, the Springfield Wildcats, their quarterback, Bryce Shondelmeyer, leads the GWAC with 2,500 yards. Courtner, the quarterback for the Thunderbolts, Keith, he's third in the GWAC with 1,700 yards and already just completed that pass for a first down. They moved the chains. It's 1st and 10 at the 37 now.
He's something to be, he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's still young, and he's, getting better each and every week.
All right, and on the ball carrier there, again, about a 5-6-yard gain.
I always talk about how you start the game, and this is their 4th play. Got a penalty on this play. I don't know who's it against, but they've been very positive, and this is going to be in favor for Northmont. They're getting some extra yards there. Now it's going to be 2nd and short.
So a penalty against Mo Douglas' Springfield Wildcat defense.
Well, face mask, I guess, inadvertent, but should be automatic first down. That's so.
So now
encroachment. Okay, we had a guy off sides.
So now Courtner will have 3 receivers to his right, awaits the snap, and he's going to hand this one off. And wow, he's still on his feet. The running back just runs over a few defenders. It's a first down, Keith, and then some there in Springfield territory.
He's a very physical runner. You're not going to get him down by arm tackling him. You got to use your helmet, shoulder pads, and wrap him up. Get your head in front of him to stop his momentum.
Again, talk about that's Noah McClure again. 66 carries on the season, Keith, for 448 yards. He does have 8 touchdowns, but most importantly, he got the first down there. Courtner, this time he's going to hand it right back off again, and the big man up the middle going to get to about the 40-yard line.
They're making a statement on this opening drive. Here's senior night here at Northmont, and they're coming out, ready to play. And I've seen that out of this Northmont team before. When they get off to a fast start, this seems to be the momentum they need to carry them through. And, Springfield right now hasn't had, their offense hasn't been on the field, but defensively, they seem to be coming out flat. They haven't had no tackle for losses, no gains. Northmont is having their way early in this game.
Courtner on the 2nd and 7 again goes right back to the run game, Keith. A yard short of the first. They get the ball to about the 34-yard line.
The chewing clock, playing it close to the vest and getting positive yards. There's no reason to throw the ball right now. I'm sure they got an injured Northmont lineman coming out, number 63. That's not a good sign. You have to see one of the starting offensive linemen, coming out limping, big Jacob Bartlett.
So Bartlett
he's okay.
3rd and short, Keith. They need one for the first. The ball's at the Springfield 34. Courtner awaits the snap, sends a man in motion. He's going to hand this one off back to the big running back up the middle. Not a big gain, but enough for the first.
Yeah, I thought
Oh, no, they're saying It looks like it was a fumble and a turnover. So, no, it was not enough
late.
for the first down. It was enough for the turnover. So it's going to be a turnover. And the Springfield Wildcats defense takes over. And they'll be taken over at about what?
They missed the offside call. I thought that's what they were going to call. But I don't see any flags on the field. That would negate the fumble.
So Mo Douglas has to be pleased with the start to this one again.
And, I guess on cue, I said the Springfield defense hadn't done anything positive yet. And then they next play, boom, they get a turnover.
That's what you have to do when you're going up against a team like Northmont, who has the weapons and has the offense to be able to match the explosiveness of Springfield. But you got to take care of the ball. Not a good turnover right there if you are Northmont. All right, so now we get to see the offense for the Springfield Wildcats, Keith, for the first time for us, at least this season. Bryce Schondelmeyer, heck of a talent, and he's going to throw this out to the outskirts, completes the pass. The receiver's finally taken down about the 28-yard line.
He's fighting for extra yards. I mean, Northmont coaches here in the press box, too. They're a little upset that they didn't get that offside call right that led to the fumble. And they're a little animated up here in the press box right now.
All right.
Get a good chance to, to see Springfield.
Yeah, but again, Bryce Schondelmeyer lines up, waits the snap. Second down, they need 9 for the first, and there's a lot of movement up front.
It depends on Wizards.
I was going to say, for my eyes.
It looks like it's against Northmont, but they're not so. The offensive lineman flinched for Springfield, so it's -5 for Springfield.
Springfield already, a couple penalties, both a couple on defense and now one on offense. Keith, and we'll see. Outside of Northmont turning that ball over, that was a nice drive for them on the opening drive, of course, for the Thunderbolts. They just turned that over, and now Schondelmeyer again on the 2nd and 14 steps into the throw, and he completes it. No, it's an incomplete.
Loose.
It was. I thought it was complete. That was Dalen Bradley, by the way, the 5'10", 150-pound senior, who I thought he came down with it, but he was hit hard.
He got a great effort after the ball, though.
I like the energy we're seeing, by the way, from the Thunderbolts down on the field right now defensively. Very enthusiastic down there. They know what's at stake.
Big third down here, man. Third and long. When the quick change with a turnover, you want to get off the field if you're Northmont because you have a lot of positive things going. And that's the one thing you don't need, Northmont encroachment. They had them at 3rd and 14. Now it's going to be 3rd and 9.
So on that play right there, and again, you could tell on the 3rd and long, Northmont, they wanted to bring the pressure. They wanted to get to Schondelmeyer because they know he has the weapons, make him uncomfortable. But
the empty backfield.
They got a little too aggressive.
Right. We're still they're playing coverage. They're only going to rush 4.
And again, Keith, Springfield, as explosive as they are as a passing team, they not one of the top running teams in the G-Walk, but with the strong passing attack, Schondelmeyer rolls out on the run. He connects. Nope, he does not connect. It's the second time he's got me on this. Bradley, the ball right in his hands, and he is hit hard. Got to give Northmont's defense a lot of credit. They are hitting these receivers, and they're hitting them hard.
They are hitting them hard, dislodging the ball away from the receiver. I think we're going to have a very physical game tonight.
It's already been very physical.
It's going to be very physical.
Yep. A 3 and out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a 3 and out for
the
the Springfield Wildcats.
Absolutely.
A very impressive start defensively for the Thunderbolts. What I like about what the Thunderbolts just did, they turned it over on that opening drive. You would think confidence would start to dip a little bit, but they came out very aggressive, and now they're feeling it again. Here on the punt return, he'll call the fair catch, and he'll be down about the 41-yard line, and that's where we'll see Kortner in the Thunderbolts offense come back out for the second time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this drive works out, for the Northmont offense and Springfield defense. Really, Springfield defense only really did one thing good on that opening drive. That was take the ball away. But of that, Northmont was able to move the ball efficiently, down the field and getting positive plays on everything they called, except for the turnover. Let's see if they can continue that momentum, here in their second drive.
All right, Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here on the call this evening. We have the Northmont Thunderbolts, the Springfield Wildcats, Week 10 high school football action. 1st and 10 for Kortner and the Thunderbolt offense ball at their 42. 8:40 to go here, scoreless first quarter, and a flag is thrown already. And another penalty against Springfield, Keith.
Oh, man. I don't think that's going to make Coach Douglas very happy. You don't want to just give away yards like that. And, it's 1st and 10, now it's 1st and 5.
Now you look at Springfield the last 2 weeks, Keith. They dominated Centerville 38-10. They shut out Miamisburg 39-0, and they're not coming out with that same defensive intensity they did the last couple of weeks against good offensive teams. And the running back going to get it.
Oh, we got a late flag in there. I don't know what the flag is.
But the defensive intensity is not there for Springfield right now. They have to get it together. But kudos to Northmont because they're coming out being the aggressors. Another penalty, by the way, against Springfield.
Yeah. Coach Douglas is irate over there on the sideline.
All right, so again, the chains continue to move in the opposite direction of where the Wildcats would want those chains to move. And, Northmont is moving the ball on them, yes, but Bo Douglas has to be frustrated because those chains keep moving. And it's, yes, because of Northmont, but it's because of their mistakes as well.
Absolutely. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? Leave the referees alone. Don't ever, they're looking for a holding.
Not a whole lot. A couple yard gain there on the handoff, Keith, on the 1st and 10. The ball is at the 31-yard line of the Wildcats. Couple yard gain there, maybe a yard pickup there. 2nd and 9 coming up from the 30. 8-12 to go, scoreless first quarter for those just joining us.
Yes, I mean, we second drive of the game for Northmont. So far it's all been positive. Only negative, they don't have points on the board yet, but they're marching here in the second drive and really haven't really thrown the ball yet, and they don't need to. They are just, with the help of Springfield always given them 20 yards of penalties, and they're just being a run the ball. Here's a pass right now.
Kortner drops back, lobs up this right sideline. He overthrows the open receiver, I should say the well-defended.
There's a flag on the field. There's another flag. I don't know who is it against.
DeJuan Lamb, by the way, was the intended receiver down the right sideline, Keith. This might be pass interference.
I think so.
And I'm just basing that on
the reaction of the fans, and that's in the vicinity. They're waiting for the white hat. What is it going to call? The referee's going to say.
So we await
interference. Springfield.
And, Northmont has moved the ball really well, but this is an impressive offensive drive by the Springfield defense. I mean, my goodness, the Springfield defense has picked up 3 first downs on this drive.
Absolutely.
All right, now, so it's 1st and 10.
I can hear my old coach, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells screaming when it's a stat. When you give up a defensive penalty 75% of the time, the offense scores. This that holds true today.
Kortner has 12 passing touchdowns on the season, but he does hand this one off on the 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. And a yard pickup, if they're lucky, maybe 2. But nonetheless, they're deep in Springfield territory, Keith, and there is 7:28 to go in the first quarter. 2nd down now coming up. 2nd and 9, ball at the 15-yard line. Kortner awaits the call from the sideline. That's going to be number 31 coming in, and Trey Quincy. 2nd down, they need 9 for the first. They have the ball at the 15-yard line. 7:04 to go. Kortner awaits the snap. There's 7 seconds on the play clock. Kortner.
Another penalty by Springfield. Like you said, Springfield's having a heck of a drive here, helping them out. Helping them out.
So another penalty against Springfield. And right now, I think Northmont's tired just from continuing having to walk down the field. They've had to walk this drive.
They've walked it down. I mean, I know we're in baseball playoff time. It's just like baseball playoffs is about giving the team 27 outs, not 30, 31 outs.
2nd and 4 now, ball at the 10-yard line. Again, now it's going to be a handoff to the running back right up the middle. He's spun around.
Yeah, not much there. Not much there.
So when you look at Springfield's defense, when they're not, being penalized here, Keith, Northmont has not been able to really get much up the middle as of right now, like they did in that opening drive. So.
Yeah, now they're getting their backs up against the goal line. The yard's going to come a little bit tougher right now.
All right, now 3rd and 5, ball at the 11-yard line. The Northmont Thunderbolts deep into Springfield territory right here. They turned the ball over the last time they were in Springfield territory and have a very good opportunity here.
You hate red zone turnovers.
Yep. And now Kortner going to roll out to his right. Keeps his eyes down the field. He throws on the run, and he connects, and that's a touchdown for the Thunderbolts. A 6-0 lead for Northmont. Trying to see the receiver that came down with the ball, Keith. I believe it was number 7. Number 7 is Javian Brownie, and Javian Brownie comes down with the touchdown. That is the 9th touchdown pass of the season right now for Kortner. Very impressive. Or not 9th, I'm sorry, my fault. 13th touchdown pass of the season for Kortner, but either way, a big-time pass and a big-time catch right there for the score. Browning, again, that was his 15th catch on the season. That's his second touchdown catch.
Good.
And the extra point is good. So a big-time play right there on the 3rd and 5 from the 11-yard line, Keith. An 11-yard touchdown pass by Kortner. He connects with Javian Browning for his 15th catch of the season, and that gives him his second touchdown catch of the season. And most importantly, it gives the Thunderbolts a 7-0 lead over the Springfield Wildcats.
Yeah, it's good that they came out of that drive with points, because that would have been two, successful drives with no points. And so they took advantage of that third down opportunity and got the completion for the touchdown.
All right, so the Northmont Thunderbolts, they'll kick off. Springfield will receive. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you live here on Friday Night Lights. It's our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. The Northmont Thunderbolts, the home team, a squib kick as they lead at 7-0. The Wildcats, the returner has to drop down on it, Keith, right at the 39-yard line, and that's where we're going to see the Springfield offense come back out for the second time. It has been a beyond sloppy game here tonight, Keith, especially for Springfield. I've lost count of the penalties. I have not been keeping track over here off to the side, but
I'm keeping track. It was 5 on that drive.
5 penalties on that drive alone.
On that drive alone.
If you count the defense or the offensive penalty, the offsides, and the opening drive for the Wildcats. They were 3 and outs on their opening drive. Their defense forced a fumble and recovered on their opening drive. But since then, it's been nothing but penalties for the Wildcats, offense and defense, and we'll see how they respond here. Bryce Schondelmeyer.
I think they probably got a tongue lashing one of the defensive guys.
Schondelmeyer steps into the throw.
That looks like a play.
Yep, he's been going again. His top target has been Dalen Bradley on both drives here to kick things off. It's 7-0, by the way. The Bolts lead at 5:51 to go here in the first quarter. But Schondelmeyer, very impressive here on this season.
Yeah, just over the halfway point of the first quarter. And this is Springfield's second drive of the game, just over midfield. Let's see, they empty backfield again. See what they get out of this play.
Schondelmeyer sends a man in motion. Faces pressure, steps up in the pocket, connects on the run. That's Davian Bradley once again, and he's going to fall, but it's enough for the first down. Nope. Yeah, it was complete. I'm sorry. I thought I heard incomplete. I got a little excited there.
They're moving those chains.
Yeah, this is, again, one of the best passing offenses in the state. Definitely the best passing offense in the GWAC. And
I mean, they come out of empty backfields. You would think it should be primed for a lot of blitzes and make sure the quarterback gets away, get the ball released. But if they're going to do that, Northmont has to get pressure. But you can't play soft off these receivers. You can't get a quarterback that much time if you're only going to rush 4.
Schondelmeyer, another empty backfield set, awaits the snap. First and 10 from the 38. He connects to the outside again.
That screen set. He's come through it.
And he's going to get to the 20, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds.
That time Springfield had outflanked the Northmont defenders. And it came down to we had flag on the play.
By the way, that was Anthony
Another
Brown.
flag.
It was Anthony Brown for the Wildcats who made that long catch up the sideline again, pushed out of bounds. But again, this penalty is going to negate that and bring it back.
Defensive holding.
So a legal formation for the Wildcats here. 4:49 to go here.
Too many people.
So another penalty kick against Springfield.
That's mental errors. You can't do that. You can't do that this late in the season. That's the first game of the season mistake. You got to get up on the line of scrimmage. All right, the referee is there. Look at him, wave your hand, and he'll tell you move up, move back. He's got to have awareness.
Another empty backfield set again. Schondelmeyer waits the snap. It's 1st and 16 from the 44. 11 seconds on the play clock. Schondelmeyer gets it, drops back right at the 50, rolls out to his right, avoids a tackle, throws on the run, nearly picked off, and it's incomplete, and that's going to be a 2nd and long coming up, Keith. 4:28. The clock stops here in the first quarter.
It was 1st and 16. They got nothing out of it.
Keith, you being a former running back, your thoughts on we know how explosive this Wildcat offense is, but they are dead last in the GWAC in rushing. Again, Springfield, as dominant as they are, but they average 69 yards per game on the ground.
I've seen that. How many times have they had a running back in the backfield?
Not
I have
often.
one back there now, and in shotgun. Rifle formation. Will he stay or put him in motion?
Javid Norman's the team's leading rusher, 296 yards coming into the season. He does have 5 touchdowns.
Penalty. This time's on Northmont. they get a 5 yards right back.
So a lot of penalties here tonight.
Quick score around the G-Rock. You got Fairborn up over West Carrollton 7-0 in the first quarter.
If you want to follow the scores that Keith is following, of course, head to wingam.com.
You got Fairmont over Beaver Creek in the first quarter, 14-3.
They got shut out last week in our game of the week when they lost against Centerville. Shonda waits the snap, 2nd and 11, ball at the 39. They pull back. They look back over the sideline, 15 seconds on the play clock. They do have the ball at the 39-yard line in Northmont. Shonda waits the snap, sends a man in motion. That man in motion, Javen Norman again, and this time they're going to hand it off. We talked about their lack of rushing attempts. He cuts up, and this is a very nice running play. Solid pickup.
I think it's enough for the first. They're moving the chains, yeah. 2nd and 16, and you can just turn around, hand the ball, running back, and get it.
Javen Norman, by the way, on the carry, the team's leading rusher. Only now that puts him over 300 total yards rushing on the season, Keith. But he had a nice little burst and cut up the middle there.
Excellent run.
All right, now that's 1st and 10. Now they have the ball at the 27-yard line of the Thunderbolts. Shonda with the running back in the backfield again, waits the snap through receivers to his right. Now he'll pop back out again. We're talking about Javen Norman again lining up in the backfield with Shonda 3:59 to go. 7-0 lead for Northmont. Springfield taking their time. 3 seconds on the play clock. Shonda 2 seconds. 1 second. Doesn't get it. Oh, he does get it off just in time. And Norman going to be pushed back out. He's at the 35. He's going to cut back up. He's going to lose about 2 to 3 yards. I don't know if they weren't paying attention to the play clock. They did get it off just in time, but man, they were cutting it close. And either way, they just looked a little out of sync there. Good stop by Northmont, and that sets up a 2nd and long now. 4-yard loss on that. So now we will see Javen Norman stay in with Shonda.
It seems to me like Springfield is just out of it. They're flat. You know, I know it was senior day. The game started a little later because you had the introduction of all the seniors. But these are seniors. You got to focus.
2nd and 14 penalty for the 31, and that's going to, that play is blown up before it even starts. Another penalty.
This is ugly to watch. False start on the right receiver out here.
I mean, and it's stalling a very good drive. I mean, you take the penalties out. I mean, Northmont has really just kind of been pushed back on this drive by Springfield. But Springfield, every time they start to march, they have to march right back.
I don't know how this first half is going to play out. I know we're still in the first quarter, but I'm sure Coach Douglas has got to rally these troops. Guys, this is not the way you play. I don't know. Even if they have a lead, this is just not how you want to start a football game. You know, you do this in the playoffs, it's over right away. That is way too many penalties.
2nd and 19 now. Ball at the 36 of Northmont, and that's going to be a timeout on the field. It's 2:43 to go here in the first quarter. The Thunderbolts lead it 7-0. It'll be 2nd and 19 for Shonda and the Springfield Wildcat offense at the 36 when we come back.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Justin Kenner, Keith Byers back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. The Northmont Thunderbolts lead at 7-0. It's Springfield football here. Wildcat football. It's 2nd and 18. Ball at the Northmont 36-yard line. Again, 2:43 to go. Keith, penalties have been the name of the game here in the first quarter, and we'll see what Springfield could do here. 2nd and 19, ball at the 36. Shonda and the Wildcats come out of the timeout. Shonda steps up, and he's grabbed, and he's pulled down. A one-arm sack. That was a big-time defensive play. That's number 90 for Northmont. A big-time stop defensively for Northmont. Number 90. Want to make sure we get that name out, and that's Peyton.
Wow, that was a timely timeout. We wish you could call timeout at their play if you're going to get a big sack like that afterwards.
Lupton with one arm brought him down, by the way. I mean, one arm. I've never to pull him down with one arm and there not be any kind of horse color.
Right, yeah.
To pull him down with one arm is
Different.
impressive. 3rd and 25 at the 42. Shondemeyer drops back, pressure coming, steps in the pocket, avoids the tackle, rolls out to his left, throws with his right hand, and he's going to go right at Javian Norman, and he connects.
God.
He's at the 15, the 10, and he's tripped up inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. And what an unbelievable play! Shondemeyer throws on the run, pressure coming down on him, rolls out left, throws right, and connects to Javian
Gives
Norman.
his receiver a chance to make a play, and he made a play, big time play.
That's
there.
Dalen Bradley. My
I
apologies.
mean, it was good defense, just better offense.
Dalen Bradley on the receiving end for the Wildcats, but either way, a big-time throw by Shondemeyer.
Well, under duress, right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, and there to make that throw. It was
1st and goal now coming up for the Wildcats. This is their best opportunity to score since this game has started. Again, penalties have really slowed them down, but nonetheless, they still find a way to overcome the sloppy start, and they have a chance here to potentially tie it up. 1st and goal now, 2 seconds on the play clock, and they just get it off in time. They're going to hand it off again to Javian Norman.
Norman runs hard. He doesn't get very many carries, but when he does get them, he's been very positive and assertive as a runner.
My view is a little blocked here nonetheless, but it's going to be 2nd and goal. They do need 3 for the score, Keith. 1:09 to go. Springfield trails 7-0 and are knocking on the door of potentially making it 7-6 and an extra point away from 7-all. Shondemeyer awaits the snap. He does have, of course, Javian Norman with him in the backfield. They're going to go right back to Norman, and Norman's going to cut up. And just, he did the long stride roll into the end zone, and that's his 6th touchdown run of the season, Keith. Nonetheless, that is the Springfield Wildcats' first touchdown of the night, and it's 7-6 with 53 seconds to go in the first quarter and an extra point away from tying it all up.
Well, hopefully it's just an extra point. The way Springfield's been, it may be more like a field goal. They have the penalties on this extra point right now.
All right, so now we are.
That was a huge 3rd down play to get them down here to get that touchdown.
Await the snap and the hold.
Snap is good. The kick is up.
And that
kick is good.
Extra point ties it all up. We are tied at 7 apiece. The Northmont Thunderbolts led the opening drive for a score, their second drive, I should say, the night for a score to take a 7-0 lead. And the Wildcats, despite all of the penalties, they come marching right down the field and they counter. Got to love the resilience of the Wildcats. They're a very sloppy start, but they're able to overcome it. They tied up at 7. We got a good one here. 7-all. We'll keep it here. 53 seconds to go in the first quarter. What I've liked about Northmont tonight, Keith, is they had the turnover on the opening drive, and they came right back, and their defense gets that big stop. Their offense, they turned it over. They didn't care. They came right back out with confidence, marched down the field, and had that big touchdown play by Courtner. So I like what we're seeing from Northmont. And then Springfield showing resilience, too. It's a horrible start as far as sloppiness is concerned, but their mental game is strong. Shondemeyer leads that scoring drive despite all the penalties. I like the mental toughness from both teams here in the early going.
Oh, I do, too. I mean, if I'm Northmont, I have to play through it. There was 1 3rd down, from being off and having a chance to go up 2 scores. But what Northmont has been doing with the ball offensively, I wouldn't change much at all. They're just grounding and pounding it and getting positive yards. I think fumble took away the opening drive, but I would, still use the same game plan and come out there because, they have a chance. Get a kick return here.
And the returner going to make his all the way up that sideline. He has room to run, and he's tripped up at about the 40-yard line. A nice return, about a 35-yard return. It's a big-time
that's what
play.
I'm talking about right there. That kind of play, it's an offensive play for the kick return. Now let that Northmont offense get back on the field and continue to drive on.
All right, so now Courtner will make his way back out onto the field for the Thunderbolts. He threw that 11-yard touchdown pass in the second drive of the night for the Bolts, of course, to take their first to get their first score of the night. Wildcats responded with the scoring drive of their own. 46 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. We are tied at 7, and Courtner and the Thunderbolts get the ball at the 40-yard line, where he'll send a man in motion and awaits the snap. 14 seconds on the play clock. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, fakes the throw, but this time he's wrapped up and taken down, maybe a yard gain.
Not much there. Springfield defenders stayed at home and just read their keys, and that's probably outside of the fumble recovery. That's the best defensive play of the game so far.
All right, now 25 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. That clock continues to tick down. 2nd and 9, about a second and a half. separate the about a second separate the game clock and play clock, and both teams say, you know what, we're just going to call it a quarter. And it was a good quarter at that. It is going to be 2nd and 9 for the Thunderbolt offense from their 42 to kick things off in the second quarter. 1 quarter in the books, and we are tied up at 7 apiece. It's our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. Northmont Thunderbolts, the Springfield Wildcats tied at 7. Second quarter action coming up. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Hi, I'm Coach Jim Place, and I'm proud to support Tony Shane for Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge. I've known Tony and his wife Annie for a long time. Something that makes Tony and the great Annie so special is they are a team. They truly care about the citizens of Montgomery County. They were born here, they're raising their family here, and the citizens of Montgomery County are something they care very deeply about. That's why on November 8th, I'm voting for Tony Shane for Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge.
Paid for by citizens to elect Shane.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. 1 bowl prize winner chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
2nd and 9, ball at the 42 for the Northmont Thunderbolts, and Courtney gets the snap and stop, and again, nothing cooking there. Again, talked about it, Keith, the penalties have been the big issue for the Wildcats, but when they haven't been committing those penalties, they've been able to really slow down the rush attack for Northmont, especially on those plays up the middle.
Yes, they have been up to this. Seems to be a pretty, productive series so far. The third time Springfield's defense gotten out there, and let's see if they're able to get off the field right now.
Courtner awaits the snap, 3rd and 9, ball at the 42. Looks back over to the sideline, waiting direction here. 14 seconds on the play clock, 11:24 here in the half. We're all tied up at 7 apiece. We appreciate those who are just joining us here on 1410 WING, our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. Courtner drops back, has time. This time, pocket collapses, steps up, avoids a couple tackles.
Be a little short.
He does gain about 4
yards short.
Yep.
He didn't force anything down there, just for the sake of throwing it. Sometimes the best play is the play you don't make. 7-7 ball game. No use of, throwing the ball out there that's less than, low percentage of getting completed and a higher percentage of getting intercepted. 7-7. We're in the second quarter. Just take it easy. I got an injured player down in the field right now. I got to try to see who that is.
Again, if right now an injured player down on the field about the top of the Northmont end at center field. Trainers and coaches attending to the player. A little brief pause in the action. 10:58 remaining here in the half. It's 4th down. They need 5 for the first, and I believe they were getting the punt team ready to come out for Northmont. And rightfully so right now. Again, I think the game started with momentum on the side of the Thunderbolts, but I think that right now Northmont has to be careful not to completely give away that momentum to Springfield, who is feeling themselves after just marching down that field and feeling pretty good about that opening drive here this evening. Isaiah Banks for the Wildcats is the player that was down on the field. He does make his way over to the sideline, does appear to be able to make it over on his own, so that is a good thing. We do hope that he is okay, but now play will get back to resuming here. It'll be 4th and 5, ball at the 46-yard line for the Thunderbolts, and their punt team is out on the field and lining up to return for the Wildcats. A couple big-time playmakers right there who are hoping that this is a good punt that will drop in their hands with open field. Explosive the special teams for the Wildcats can be as well. This punt drops at about the 33-yard line and is going to take a few bounces and roll out of bounds, and that's where Shonda Meyer and the Wildcats will take over. They'll have about 66 yards to cover here, Keith, to try to make it back-to-back scoring drives. We'll see what happens.
You talked about that quick strike offense, and, they showed it on 3rd and 16. The completed pass almost got a touchdown, and so we know they're capable of scoring from any place on the field.
Javen Norman, the running back for the Wildcats. Keep in mind, Springfield has the worst rushing attack in the GWalk, dead last, averaging about 68 yards per night. But he does have he had 5 touchdowns coming in. He rushed for his 6th touchdown to tie it up at 7 apiece now. And we'll see how the Wildcat offense focuses here. They'll send a man in motion. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Shonda Meyer steps back quickly, steps into a throw. Incomplete.
You got to give credit to the Northmont defensive line. He couldn't follow through with that. Even though they're only bringing 4 guys, they're getting pressure.
A lot of big bodies on that Northmont defensive line, that's for sure. So now that stops the incomplete pass, stops the clock. 10:40 to go here in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the 33 coming up. A couple players rotating in and out now for Northmont. So now, as I mentioned, 2nd and 10 at the 33. 7 all here in the first half. 10:40 to go. Schondelmeyer waits the snap, gets the snap, hands this one off.
Not
and
the best.
Swallowed up.
Green.
Yep.
Jerseys all around it.
So now that'll be
like a green wave. I know just at the Thunderbolts, there's a bunch of lightning bolts out there in green all over that play.
Yeah, they got back there quickly. Before the ball was even handed off, the defense had already broke through that offensive line. So now a big second down coming up, or third down coming up now. They lost 5 on that play, or 4 on that play, Keith. 3rd and 14.
They would, like you said, they could have handed them the ball in the backfield. Can they get off the field? Last time in 3rd and long, Springfield was able to complete it.
Schondelmeyer
got the first down. He run the wheel right, but he won't get a chance.
Now there is laundry down on the field right now. The flag was thrown at about the 25-yard line. Could this be against Northmont, who did? I mean, they broke the plane quick, Keith. Did they get there a little too quick? We'll find out if the flag is against Northmont or Springfield.
I think it's against Springfield because the guy that was in the receiver that was in motion seemed to me he turned up a little early.
Yeah, and no one's arguing it. They already have the punt team out there. I think they're just like, yeah, that was on us. Our bad. All right, now 9:58 to go. That's going to bring up 4th down and the punt team for Springfield. So great response by Northmont, by the way. They come down, they score, they tie it up, and then a 3 and out by the defense. Got to love that. The punt is going to take a couple bounces. Springfield's going to down it, but hold on. Northmont may have come away with it.
Watching the Tennessee-Alabama game. Yeah. Jeez, Pete, get away from the ball.
And the way Springfield's reacting right now.
Football.
Yeah, Springfield gets the ball back. So what was when
I was in the pros in Ohio State, we had a call called Peter. He said, Peter, let me just get away from the ball. You have words like that. I don't know what Northmont word is, but everybody has a word that you have to use.
There are probably a lot of words, and they're probably not meant for radio.
It's one word.
I know.
Whatever. Like at Ohio State, we got an interception. We yelled to Oski. Go get a block. And, oh, my God, what a break for Springfield.
So it was they had the ball at their 19-yard line. They punted, and they get the ball right back. So that was
your defense had a great defensive series.
So about a 35-yard gain, technically, by the offense.
Right.
Or by Springfield, I should say. A timeout down on the field. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 9:44 to go here in the first half. We are tied at 7-all. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, who are ready to break their huddle coming out of the timeout. Again, Keith, they were what was supposed to be a 3 and out. I love the way Northmont's defense technically responded, of course, but a special teams mistake gives the ball right back to the Wildcats, where Schondelmeyer and Springfield takes over at the 46 now. 1st and 10 with 9:44 to go here in this 7-7 tie here in the first half. Schondelmeyer sends a man in motion, gets the snap. Defensive pressure, steps in, avoids the tackle, throws on the run, and that one's going to bounce off the ground there. An incomplete pass.
Just underthrown him. He had him wide open.
So 2nd down now coming up, 9:39 to go. Ball at the 46. So right now, the one thing I've noticed, too, is just Northmont has really kind of picked up the pressure. Schondelmeyer on that scoring drive, he had all the time in the world in that pocket. I mean, sometimes it did collapse on him from time to time, but he hasn't had time to breathe at this drive.
They didn't call. They called. Wow. It seemed to be offsides against Northmont, but the referee didn't call it. Guess they didn't think he was in the neutral zone, so.
I mean,
they was waiting for the call came.
And now a run right up the middle, about 2-3 yard gain, and a positive play right there for the Wildcats. All right, now second down coming up. 9:24 to go. Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Keith, week 10. Where did the season go? We opened
Is
up.
it week 10 for real?
We opened up the season with Alter and Fairmont all the way back in week 1, and yet here we are. We've called a lot of great games this season. First time getting to see Northmont or Springfield this season. 3rd and 6. Sean DeMeyer, empty backfield, gets the snap, steps into the throw. Nearly
Good
connects.
Defensive play by Northmont.
He got popped, and he came down, could not bring the ball down with them, but again, Sean DeMeyer had time. He stepped into the pocket. Nice throw, but again, the receiver up in the air kind of exposed a little. The defender was able to pop him down to the ground. The intended target was Duncan Bradley, Keith, 5'10", 150-pound junior.
He hit him. He got hit with all that Northmont defender had to get. But it's a 4th down. I don't think it'll be 4 down territory here. They must feel real good about their defense right now. 4th and 7.
4th and 6 for 42. Sean DeMeyer steps into the throw and connects.
It's enough.
It's enough for the first down, and then picks up a few more yards before being pushed out of bounds at the 30.
Confidence in your defense and in your offense.
Man, what a throw by Sean DeMeyer. And you're right. I mean, this hasn't been an easy drive, so to feel confidence in them to pick up that first down, pretty impressive. And
so that tells me if they go for 4th down and 7 at the 44-yard line, they got 4 down territory the rest of this drive.
All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 30. 8:54 to go. Tied at 7 apiece.
Oh,
Northmont and Springfield here.
I'm hearing the Springfield coach get upset about offside by the wide receiver. I'll tell you, as a coach, that one burns you up never before. Offsides by wide receivers, you don't. All you do is look at the ball. Don't even listen to the snap count because you're too far away. All you got to do is look at the ball. So there's never excuse for wide receivers to jump off sides. So that drives the coach batty. Maybe that's why I don't have any hair. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, well, it's not like coaches get angry or anything. I mean, it's just friendly suggestions to play better, right? Connects on the throw to Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown gets to the 30, cuts back up to the 25, the 20.
He's still on his feet
to the 15, a 20-yard pickup, Keith.
That's just a bubble screen, and it's just a one-man game.
I should say 15-yard pickup, but again, 20 yards from where he threw it from, but nonetheless.
Unbelievable. I mean, when you got athletes, you got to put them in space and give them an opportunity to make a play. And it comes down, do you make the play or do you not make the play?
Big-time drive here again for Springfield. And Northmont has to be kicking themselves right now. They have to find a way to get a stop here. Sean DeMeyer lines up, but again, empty backfield. Awaits the snap, 1st and 10 from the 14. Drops back, rolls out to his right, keeps his eyes locked on the field, connects at the 10-yard line and a 4-yard pickup. That was number 6, Sean Thigpen coming down with it. Sean Thigpen's been around a while too, Keith, another senior. I feel like we've been calling that name for a while.
For a bit, yes, we have.
Been calling it for a bit, but it's the first time we've called it tonight. That's how deep this offense is, especially in the pass game. I mean, it's no wonder why Sean DeMeyer, top quarterback of the GWAC, he has so many weapons all around him. 2nd and 6, ball at the 10. They send a man in motion. The man in motion, Anthony Brown. Screen. Anthony Brown comes away with the ball. He's going to juke up and kind of cut out of bounds. Yep. And another flag down on the field, probably against Springfield here. We'll see what happens. That's just my guess, because if I see a flag, I'm just assuming it's against Springfield.
You'd be right majority of the time.
All right, so now we think it's 2nd and 6, but again, await the call from the official to see which direction we're going.
Roughing the passer.
So a big-time penalty against Northmont here.
Automatic 1st down.
So, yep, that auto first you talked about, it moves the ball up significantly. And the last time the Wildcats were in the deep in Northmont territory, it was an 11-yard touchdown pass by, of course, it was a rush up the middle, by the running back.
Centerville's beating Wayne in the second quarter, 10-7.
So now 1st and goal coming up, Keith. They need 5 yards for the score. We are tied at 7 apiece in Springfield.
Well, we know it's 4 down territory. Will they get the 4th down?
Again, Sean DeMeyer waits the snap. They need 5 for the first. Again, going to hand it off in the reverse, and then he's going to pop back up to the outside.
Looked like he was passed.
Oh, he got hit hard. He turned. I mean, the defense kind of turned him back inside, and as he spun to the middle, he got popped hard. Very physical game, as you talked about, but the toughness of the kid, man, he popped right back up. I'm hurting for him, seeing how hard he was hit.
The press box some 100 yards away from the action. You kind of uphill.
So they lost 2 on that play, Keith. 2nd and 7 now. They need 2nd and goal, but they need 7 for the first or for the touchdown, I should say. 7 minutes remaining here in the half. We are tied at 7. 6:57, 15 seconds on the play clock. Schondelmeyer awaits the snap. He has Javen Norman with him in the backfield. Schondelmeyer drops back, pocket collapsing, avoids the tackle, being chased, avoids a couple defenders, and is finally taken down by 4 green jerseys.
I mean, Schondelmeyer, he just...
So now, a little chippy down on the field right now, and so 3rd and 5, or 3rd down coming up, Keith. Now we wait to see what exactly it is.
That's going to be on Northmont.
All right, now 6:36 to go here in the first half.
It's going to be on Northmont. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You know, you don't want to do that.
So we are tied at 7, 6:36 to go here in the first half. A penalty against Northmont.
That's just trash talking.
Yep.
You made a great play, tackling him in space, and now you'll give him 4 fresh downs to get it in there.
So now, this has been a double whammy of a drive for Springfield, really for Northmont. Again, real quick, I'll get to that in a moment. Again, 3rd down, they need 3 for the touchdown, and this time they're going to go right back to Javen Norman.
I think it's enough. It's enough to get in there.
So we talked about the explosive passing offense of the Wildcats, but back-to-back drives where the passing offense leads them deep into Northmont territory, and the back rushes it in for the score. That's Javen Norman. Had 5 touchdowns on the season coming into tonight. 2 touchdowns here in the first half for Javen Norman, and most importantly for Norman, he gives his team a 13-7, potentially a 14-7 lead, an extra point away with 6:23 to go. Unfortunately, a player down on the field right now for the Wildcats. Keith is trying to use his extra set of eyes over here to kind of get a view of which player is slow to get up. Number 50 for the Wildcats.
Jerome Howe, if I'm on the right roster.
So Jerome Howe, again, 6'3", 278-pound sophomore offensive lineman, a big body down there to help clear the path for Javen Norman to walk into the end zone for his second score of the night in a 13-7 lead now. 16:3 to go, or 6:23 to go here in the first half. All right, now Springfield, they get the score, the second score here of the half. And they are an extra point away from taking that 14-7 lead, Keith.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Kind of snap hooks up. Oh, they got good penetration. Almost blocked it.
All right, so if you're Northmont, you have to find a way to put that drive behind you because they've technically had the 3 and out. And then they, on special teams, they gave the ball right back, and then that allowed Springfield to march down the field and get that second score. They have to have a short memory here.
You can't help the offenses out with defensive penalties. They just hurt. You know the offense is hard enough to play offense and play clean. You know, you get offsides, you get a holding, but your defense has to play clean. You can't give them first downs because majority of defensive penalties outside of an offsides or first down penalties, the 5 to 10 to 15-yard variety. And, you know, the unsportsmanlike conduct, you know, this point of the season, you know, I have to put that on your discipline of your team. You can't allow that to happen. That has to be snuffed out during training camp and certainly by the first, second game of the season.
All right, now we are at the 6:23 mark of the first half. It's 14-7, Springfield with the lead. Springfield getting set to kick off. Northmont will have an opportunity here to march it down the field and potentially tie this up. But I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Courtner out on the field. Again, that was technically 2 offensive possessions for Springfield and 1 after the special teams unit gave it right back. So a kickoff for the Wildcats. The ball will be returned starting at the 10-yard line.
Oh, nice hit.
It'll be spun around right at about the 24-yard line, and that's where we'll see Courtner and the Thunderbolts offense come back out onto the field. So again, Courtner has an 11-yard touchdown strike. Their only points here of the night, but it's been a while since they've had the football. We'll see what happens now when they get the ball back. Right now, what I like about Northmont is very confident offensively going against this very athletic Springfield team. They have to kind of put the last couple series of events behind them and focus on trying to find a way to tie this up.
Like I said, you got to turn the page. Let what happened on that last series go and play on now.
All right, 6:17 to go. This is where Courtner, I don't know why coaches yell as if the players can hear him down there. I have no 6:17 to go here in the first half. 14-7. Kortner drops back, steps in, throws, completes the pass. About a yard short of the first, but a very impressive throw nonetheless. Very good play by Kortner. So Kortner connects. That's number 7 for Northmont, and Javian Brownie, who comes down with the score, or with the catch, I'm sorry. 2 yards short of the first, an 8-yard completion. 2nd and 2 now coming up, ball at the 31-yard line. 5:52 to go. Northmont trails 14-7. Kortner sends a man in motion. 2nd and 2 from the 31. This time they're going to go right back to the running back, and he has popped hard for a potential loss right there. But nonetheless, that was more about just a great defensive penetration from the front pressure there of Springfield.
Yeah, earlier I said it was better offense. At that time, it was better defense at Springfield.
3rd down now coming up for Northmont. They need 3 for the first down. They have the ball at the 30. They lost a yard there on that handoff. 5:21 to go. They trail 14-7.
A crucial 3rd down. You don't want to turn around and get a ball right back to Springfield after they had a scoring drive.
All right, now here we go. Kortner, quick throw, catch and release, and he has a wide open receiver who's going to get to the 35, the 30,
Can he make
the
it?
20, the 10, 5, and touchdown. And Keith, that's a 70-yard touchdown pass to number 4, Dewan Lamb. Dewan Lamb on the catch and score, a 70-yard touchdown catch, and we are 1 extra point away from being tied up here.
Wow. I'm looking for flags on the field, but I don't see any.
We're talking about the explosive passing offense of Springfield. I think that overshadows I know the inconsistencies with Northmont throughout the year, but my goodness, that thing takes away just how explosive this offense can be, and we just saw it on full display right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a throw, what a catch, and what speed, by the way. I mean, he was able to create separation there and pull away. There's Javian.
Yeah, so it was a penalty on the play, but it's after the touchdown. So they're assessed out on the kickoff.
The speed on the play right there again, getting all the way into the end zone.
That was a crucial series because you saw the game. It seemed like it was going the way. The momentum was shifting, but they shifted it back.
I believe that was number 4, Dewan Lamb. That was number 4, correct? I want to make sure I'm giving the right kid the right
yes.
Credit where it's due. But yes, a 70-yard.
He ran so fast he couldn't hardly see him.
Catch and score. But Kortner, unbelievable pass, but an unbelievable show of athleticism right there by Lamb, able to create that separation and continue to beat the very fast defense of Springfield down the field. And now an extra point away from tying this up. Keith, this is a very good game. What a heck of a way to close out the regular season here tonight. We got a lot of football left.
And you got offense. The last couple of weeks we haven't had a lot of offensive games, but
oh my goodness, yes,
you got it today. We got 28 points in the first half. Well, 27 points so far in the first half.
The snap
Make
to hold
that
the
28.
kick. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. We are tied now at 14 apiece here in the first half. A 70-yard touchdown strike from Kortner to Dewan Lamb, and we are tied at 14-all. Keith, you talked about some of those low-scoring games we've had this season. How about the Wayne Warriors and Pinkerton Central when we had that game earlier in the year? It was a 10-9 final.
Yep.
Then we had Fairmont and Miamisburg. That was a 10-9 final. Fairmont over Miamisburg, of course. And then just last week, Centerville beat Fairmont 7-0. And then you see Fairmont this week just loading, piling it on Beaver Creek, I believe, is what we saw last. I think it was like 14-0. By the way, with halftime coming up here in just under 5 minutes, Brandon Williams will bring you some of the updated scores around the Miami Valley. And then, of course, we'll have our tonight and high school football halftime report with Skip Mossick. So that's all coming up here at the half. You don't need to tune away. We'll have plenty of content for you throughout the pause of the action, but we still have 5 minutes. There's a lot of time left, especially with how explosive these two offenses are.
Yeah, we got Springfield and Miamisburg 20-7 in the second quarter, favor Springboro.
Yeah, Springboro too. That team I was really excited about Miamisburg offense coming into this year again with Jackson McGowan again going to be playing at Cincinnati. I love the explosiveness of Miamisburg offense. We talked a lot about them coming in. We knew how good Springfield was going to be. Wayne with Tyrell Lewis and company, and we knew how good Northmont was going to be. I mean, there's so many great offenses in the conference, but Springboro is the one I think a lot of media overlooked when it came to coming into the season. And
They pooch kicked it.
And again, not a very good kickoff at all for Northmont. Yeah, that basically said that Springfield's going to take over at the Northmont 40, 41, I believe. At the 41, it's going to be 1st and 10 with 4:55 to go, Keith.
I would think they was going to kick that ball over the 50 at least.
I mean,
and
that
cover it.
Right there, too. That's just them. That's how much the special teams, the kickoff team, again, is feared. You want to keep the ball in their hands. Yes.
Devin Hester.
I mean, it's
Billy
almost
White
that
Shoes
mentality.
Johnson, great returners. Deion Sanders.
One of your favorite Cowboys. By the way, I saw that you
I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks. The Falcons, Deion Sanders.
Not a Cowboys fan, huh? No, I saw you a 93, by the way. We were sitting at dinner last night, and I saw your tweet that you are a playable character on Madden now, by the way.
Yes, I am.
Real quick, Schondemeyer steps in. He's hit as he throws, and the ball's recovered by Northmont, I believe. We'll wait. No. They're saying an incomplete pass. It'll be second down coming up.
We do not have high school replay.
And that would definitely be one of those situations. If there was replay, they would have definitely reviewed that. But nonetheless, the officials blow it dead. It'll be 2nd and 10 now coming up. The whistle kills the clock. But yes, I said with my friends last night, we were all trying. I said that you were a playable character on Madden, and
How about that?
yeah, we all tried to guess. We all tried to guess, and everyone was really impressed that you were 93 rated. Keep in mind, none of us were. We unfortunately didn't get to watch you play. Not back in the days.
I was
back in
the original
90s.
fantasy football player. People would come up to me, man, you're my fantasy football league. What is that? I don't know what that is. It was all new, but it does feel good. My son texted me, Dad, I see you on Legends on Madden 23.
Schondemeyer steps into the throw, and I believe he completed that pass, and that was
Wow.
from the 41-yard line. I think
That's good defense, better offense.
and that's number 10, I believe.
With a throw, with a catch. You cannot be mad at anyone.
And another new name to call tonight, Duncan Bradley, by the way. Duncan Bradley coming away. Of course, with that long catch. 30-yard touchdown, or not touchdown, 30-yard catch. And first down, of course. And now that's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Wildcat offense. Schondemeyer waits the snap. Gets the snap, sends it off to Norman. And now Norman's going to bounce out to the outside. He's going to get to the 5 and touchdown.
He got it.
And the Wildcats score right there. And
But
again,
it's going to be a hold.
how about that, Keith? I mean, Javen Norman only had 5 touchdowns all season long, and that would have potentially been his 3rd touchdown on the night. So holding against the offense and another penalty coming back to haunt the Wildcats here. So there's been a lot of costly penalties here tonight, but that one is very crucial because that one brings back that's a scoring drive that's called back now, or a scoring play that's called back due to the penalty. Has to be very frustrating if you're Coach Mo Douglas at this point.
Oh, yes. But I think both coaches are upset about the penalties that are being called on both teams. More so Springfield. It has to be cleaned up.
And the officials have been very busy here tonight in the first half. We still have 4 minutes of play remaining. 1st and 15. They're going to send Anthony Brown in motion. Schondemeyer steps back, looks back over at the sideline. And another penalty, yep. And again, Keith, they were 4 yards away from the end zone. Now they're at the 20.
Yeah.
At the 20
But
yard
with
line.
their passing game, yeah.
I mean, all this is doing is padding the stats of Schondemeyer.
That's it.
Just with the way.
I don't want a 6-yard touchdown pass. I want a 20-something yard.
Between the playmaking ability of Javian Norman, Anthony Brown, Thigpen. We just called Duncan Bradley a little bit ago on that 30-yard catch over on the far left sideline from where we're at. Empty backfield now. 1st and 20, ball at the 20-yard line. And again, Schondemeyer steps back, quick release, connects. He's going to get to the 10-yard line, and he's popped and is taken down about the 8-yard line. And that's a big-time play right there from Daylen Bradley. Daylen Bradley's been his go-to on a lot of plays here tonight. We talked about the various weapons that Schondemeyer has, but you could tell he has a big-time connection to Daylen Bradley. All right, now 3:51 remaining here in the first half. We are tied at 14 apiece, and the Springfield Wildcats knocking on the door of taking the lead right back. Schondemeyer sends a man in motion. That's Anthony Brown. Schondemeyer steps in, completes the pass, and it is a touchdown. And on the receiving end for the Wildcats, is that number 6? I can't see the number on the receiving end. So after the touchdown reception right there, the wide receiver gets called for excessive celebration right there. Man, that's the if I'm going to get in trouble for the F-bomb going over our radio airwaves, I might as well let it be known that those are these coaches, that it's the Springfield coaches. Nothing I can do about that. So just making it clear. But nonetheless, so a 20-14 lead now for Springfield. And they're an extra point away from making it 21-14, Keith. And there's 3:40 to go.
Every point counts.
The snap, the hold, the kick. And
the Bengals fans know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Browns.
Before last week, the Browns, I believe, were like 6 points away. 6 points combined, 6 points of other losses. The Bengals had 8 points combined in other losses. That's still the case because the Bengals won last week. The Browns did not. The Browns added to that total by a lot. So they got blown out. All right, folks, it's 21-14. Springfield with the lead. 3:40 to go here in the first half. Springfield will kick off, and now Northmont will have an opportunity to potentially tie it up, and they'll have 3:40 to do so. We'll be right
3:40.
back.
There's plenty of time.
Yep, we'll be right back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
All right, and we are back. Justin Kinner, Keith Byers with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Week 10 of the high school football season is officially upon us. Playoffs around the corner. We're wrapping up the regular season tonight, and we got a good one here on 1410 WING. The Springfield Wildcats have a 21-14 lead with 3:40 to go over the Northmont Thunderbolts, and Northmont will receive, of course, on the kick return. He fumbles it, but he picks it up, and he's able to pick up another 10-15 yards, Keith. So he's a solid pickup right there. So now we'll get to
I'm over here eating popcorn, but I can multitask.
So Kortner will have 3 minutes and 35 seconds to lead a scoring drive to put any kind of points up on the board. Obviously, the intended target is to tie it up here. I think right now, yes, you want to score no matter what. But if you had it your way, if you're Northmont, you would love to take as much time off this clock as possible while ending the half with the scoring drive, of course. That was a very explosive drive by Springfield. They put up time. I mean, we just said there's 5 minutes to go. They scored in 90 seconds, and now Northmont has a chance to lead a game-tying drive here, at least.
Got the fans back into it. Our student body's fired up. Got the stadium press box rocking up here.
All right, now Kortner this time going to hand it off.
Jet sweep, and there's a flag already.
And he's going to be taken down about the 46-yard line, 46, 47. That was Javian Brownie coming our way on the sweep, Keith, on the 1st and 10, but that's going to be against Northmont. The flag, of course. I know I've mentioned it already, but keep in mind, make sure you keep it locked in here at the half. We'll have our Tonight in High School Football halftime report with Ohio State's Skip Mossick coming up. So false start on the offense, Keith. So the 1st and 10 from the 43 will now come back. $3:29 remaining here in the first half. 21-14 Springfield with the lead now. Again, Kortner and Northmont trying to lead the game-tying drive here heading into the locker room at the half. 16 seconds on the play clock. 3:17 to go. 1st and 15 now. Kortner awaiting the snap. 7 seconds on the play clock. Kortner gets the snap, drops back, and he completes the pass, and that's going to be number 3 coming down.
Oh, he got his feet down.
That's Dalen Wilkins.
I couldn't sure if he landed in bounds or not. This is high school. All you need is one, and he was able to get one down.
Yep, Wilkins goes up. Off 1 foot, comes down with that 1 foot, but he got both hands on that ball, and there was enough for the first down. The chains move, and now 3:04 to go. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 42, this time in Springfield territory. Kortner awaits the snap. 20 seconds on the play clock. 3:04. Clock continues. Actually, the clock is stopped because he, of course, was pushed out of bounds. Kortner gets the snap, steps into the throw, has a wide open receiver, but he just a little bit too much Kortner behind that one. Right idea. They haven't gone deep on too many tries here, but I mean, two very good quarterbacks here tonight. Two of the top 3 QBs, at least in total yards on the season, going head-to-head here tonight. Sean DeMeyer for Springfield and, of course, Kortner for Northmont. Second and 10, 2:58 to go. 21-14 Springfield with the lead. Northmont trying to put points up on the board before the half. Kortner hands this one back off, and a couple-yard pick up here on the 2nd and 10 on the carry. That's going to bring up 3rd down now coming up. Third down and 8 coming up. 2:39 to go. 21-14. Springfield with the lead. A big 3rd down coming up here, Keith. You're in Springfield territory. You trail 21-14. I know 2:28 doesn't seem like a lot of time, but we've seen Springfield score in a less amount of time than that.
Yes,
Are they in
have.
4-down territory? Or is this do you try to bury Springfield and hope that the defense can hold them off before the half? Either way, they're hoping to pick up the first tier. Kortner going to roll out. Throws for the 49, and he connects.
He got it.
And that's going to be a touchdown. And a 40-yard touchdown
There's plenty of time.
And that's number 3, and Dalen Wilkins. Dalen Wilkins is the one that caught that huge pass along the sideline here that came down with 1 foot, Keith. And then, of course, makes that big 40-yard catch right there. An unbelievable pass and catch again. A big place. We've seen big plays from DeJuan Lamb tonight and Dalen Wilkins, the receiving core.
I mean, with this, Northmont has answered to everything that Springfield has done. You make a big play, we make a big play. You drive the ball down, we drive the ball down.
A 40-yard touchdown.
Tie ball game here, folks.
A 40-yard touchdown catch by Wilkins with 2:08 to go here, and the extra point ties it up. Unbelievable game here tonight in Week 10 of the high school football season. You could tell the playoffs are coming up just around the corner. You want to be playing your best football right about now, and you could tell this game means a lot to both of these teams. Again, right now, for one, Springfield, they win this game. They hold on to the GWAC title, of course. This would be the 3rd time in the last 4 years that Springfield and Coach Mo Douglas comes away with the GWAC title.
Yeah, I said, in the first quarter, I think at halftime, we're 2 minutes and 8 seconds away. I think both coaches got to get their teams refocused and get disciplined and stop with the penalties and clean up. It's a high-scoring game, 21 points each team, but it hasn't been a clean game. And at Week 10, this is the kind of game you would maybe see in the first or second week of the season. We shouldn't be seeing that right now. So I'm sure both coaches will take a tie if nobody scores in the last 2 minutes. But they have to play cleaner and a much more better football game on both sides of the ball.
So the last time Springfield had the football, it was 4:55 to go in the first half, and they scored in 90 seconds. They're going to get the kickoff here, and they'll have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to make something happen. And another squib kick here. And the difference is now they'll at least have a little bit more field to work with. And I say that, and a nice kickoff return here.
Whoa.
It's going to get about to the 43-yard line.
That was a nice return. They got field position at 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Only took 6 seconds off the clock. And now what you have at Northmont, what you cannot do is relax and say, okay, the game's tied up with going to the half. 2 minutes, as we saw a lot happen in the last 2.5 minutes. Both teams have scored touchdowns.
All right, now we'll see the Springfield offense come back out onto the field. And, of course, it's just been a shootout here in the first half, tied at 21 apiece, 2:02 to go. Springfield and Sean DeMeyer, empty backfield. He connects, and that's Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown is going to be taken down, and that's a very nice
He just didn't get his shoulder square.
Yep.
He was still parallel to the sideline, and it's almost like, you see a Ted Ginn. When Ted Ginn got his shoulder square to the goal line, it was like strike up the band. And this guy, Brown, is quick. Not as quick as Ted Ginn. I don't want to compare, but, that type of speed.
Anthony Brown came into tonight with 774 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Springfield on the other side of this timeout. Tied at 21 apiece, 1:50 to go in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Springfield from the Northmont 37. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Buckeye football season is back. That means tailgating and parties for the big game. You need the Lee's famous recipe Buckeye Bucket. It comes with 25 pieces of the delicious jumbo breast strips for only $44.99. Of course, you can add a few of their famous countryside items, buttermilk biscuits, gallons of fresh brewed Lee's iced tea, or lemonade. You have the perfect recipe for a tailgate or watch party. Cheer on the Buckeyes this weekend with a Buckeye Bucket. Order today.
First and 10 for Schondelmeyer in the Springfield offense. Schondelmeyer has pressure in his face, throws as he is getting hit, and I believe the receiver comes down with it. Yes, that is an unbelievable throw. Schondelmeyer,
Pump fake
from the 37. I mean, he's throwing as he's going backwards with the defense right in his face, and he's still able to complete that 20
The
yard.
receiver bit on the quick slant. There's a sluggo route, slant and go, and he fit it in there just perfectly.
All right, now first and 10. This time they march the ball all the way up to the 16-yard line at Northmont. They do it quickly. Schondelmeyer throws. And Anthony Brown, his intended target, overthrows Anthony Brown just by a foot or two. And that stops the clock at 1:39 and second and 10 for the 16 now up on deck.
Both teams have 2 timeouts, so time is not a big concern. They're down here in the 15-yard line.
We're so used to calling these offenses over the last couple of weeks that are predicated around the run, and 90 seconds or 1:39 remaining doesn't seem like a lot of time, but that is a ton of time for these offenses to work with here tonight. Schondelmeyer, empty backfield, second and 10 for the 16. And Schondelmeyer going to call his own numbers. You talked about, Keith. It's going to pick up a couple yards, a couple timeouts they have to work with.
Third down, yeah.
1:25 to go. Clock continues to tick.
I don't know what kind of kicker Springfield has. What they think about going for it on 4th down?
Well, Samuel Freilich is the kicker for the Wildcats. And real quick, and that pass attempt to number 4 on the outside was deflected.
Yep.
The intended target was Javen Norman, Keith.
That's a good thing he took that ball because he had blockers in front of him.
But Samuel Freilich is the kicker for the Wildcats. He's attempted 3 field goals on the season, connecting on one of them from 32 yards out. So,
do you give him a shot now? It doesn't look like no indications.
I think right now,
clock is running, the 4th down.
Coach Mo, you're under a minute to go. Coach Mo Douglas has to feel pretty solid.
He's over there standing by the referee. He's going to call timeout.
Yeah, you go for it.
Think about it.
Yeah, if you go for it here, obviously you connect, great, you score. But if not, I mean, that you still, with under a minute to go, you force them to have to cover a lot of ground in a little time. All right, a timeout out on the field. We are under a minute to go. It's 21 all. It'll be 4th and 7 for the Springfield Wildcats on the other side. We're going to keep it locked in here. We do have our Tonight in High School Football halftime show coming up immediately following the first half. And what a first half it has been. It's 21 all as we currently sit here right now. But with the ball at the 13-yard line, Springfield deep into Northmont territory, of course, a very big timeout here as Mo Douglas's Wildcats trying to draw up what could be a scoring, obviously a much-needed scoring play coming out. They have to find a way to pick up the first or the score here. So Northmont's defense, they break their huddle first, Keith. They're making their way onto the field. They'll await Springfield. Here comes Springfield. They make their way out of their huddle. 58.3 seconds is the exact time remaining up on the clock. 4th down. They need 8 for the first. They have the ball at the 14 of Northmont. They need 14. They need 8 for the first and 14 for the score. And now Northmont is going to call a timeout of their own. And that's going to force us to call a timeout ourselves. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 21 all, under a minute to go. It's 4th and 8 for the Wildcats when we come back.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy. Festivals.
All right, Justin Kenner, Keith Byers back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 WING. Friday Night Lights, high school football action here, week 10. Springfield Wildcats, the Northmont Thunderbolts tied at 21 apiece, 58.3 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the Wildcats have the ball at the 14-yard line of Northmont. All right, Keith, here we go now. Schondelmeyer.
And coming out of timeout is when Springfield players lined up in the wrong possession. They hear the coaches upset.
All right, now Schondelmeyer.
All sides of Springfield.
And again,
the receiver left a little early.
And Mo Douglas has to be frustrated because, again, these are penalties are frustrating no matter what. But then, okay, this is at least
it's on defense.
Okay,
I
never
saw the
mind.
receiver
Mo
move.
Douglas should not be frustrated. He's actually pretty happy with that result.
Wow. I think both coaches can't wait for halftime. They're going to have a lot to say to both these teams.
56.5 seconds.
It's crucial. For still fourth down, though. Instead of 4th and 9, it's 4th and 4. If you're at Northmont, just get off the field right now. Just don't allow them a first down.
4th and 3 coming up. Again, empty backfield set. Schondelmeyer steps into the throw and touchdown, Springfield. Sorry for the delayed response right there. We were waiting for the exact ruling from the Wildcats. But again, another big-time pass and catch. This time Schondelmeyer drops back, pressure in his face, and he's able to connect with Dayton Bradley wide open in the far left sideline. I shouldn't say wide open. He was he was good defender on it, just better
threw
offense.
It high.
Yep.
Just, physics. Threw it up high and let the guy give him a chance to make a play. And, they started their drive with 2 minutes and 9 seconds, and they scored a little over a minute, march it down.
And right now with one timeout, right now Springfield has one timeout remaining. The Bolts have 0 timeouts remaining. Look for it. That's going to be a blocked extra point.
That might be the difference in the ball game.
So that may not – you're right. That may not seem like a big deal this exact moment, but with the back and forth that we've seen, I mean, it's just punch for punch. You get down deep into that fourth quarter, all of a sudden now you put yourself in a situation where you have to convert on a 2-point conversion if it does continue on this pace of just punch for punch. So 52 seconds remaining. We'll keep it locked in here. Springfield about to kick off. Northmont will receive. It may seem like, 52 seconds, not that much time, but with as explosive as these two offenses have been tonight, I mean, in the last 5 minutes, we've seen 21 points scored in the last 5 minutes alone. So between both teams, I mean, my goodness. I should say in the last 4 minutes.
20 points.
Yeah, 20. You're right. The extra point that was missed. All right, so now Northmont will receive. We've seen Courtner on a couple of these big-time plays, Keith, where he's been able to connect. How about, we talked about some of their Juwan able to come down. Juwan Lamb had that big 70-yard catch and score earlier in the game, and then we saw the big 40-yard touchdown pass from Wilkins, or the reception, I should say, from Wilkins. I mean, 2 big plays by 2 different wide receivers, and then, of course, Courtner has just been
the way this first half has went. I wouldn't be surprised if Northmont scores. They've had an answer for every time Springfield has scored.
And you talked about, you asked about this kick.
Oh, he let the ball go over his head. Is it going to get in the end zone?
All right, so that's Northmont catches a break right there. So Vincent Perkins, Keith, is the kicker for Northmont. Now, he has attempted 2 field goals. He has made both of them, but his longest field goal of the season has been a 28-yarder. So if that shrinks the field just that much more again, and having to get to the ball to about the 18 or whatever.
Yeah, down inside the 20.
So you have to get the ball to the 20 if that's how you want to look at this. But they have the ball at their 20. They need to get the ball to the opposite 20 to at least put the kicker in position to kick from where he's already made them before. But I don't think they're thinking field goal. No. I think right now with the way offenses are rolling right now, I think they look at that 52 seconds and say, hey, we could do that.
Well, absolutely. I've been saying it, they've had an answer.
Courtner
He's got a guy.
Steps and overthrows the intended target there. J.V. Bradley, was the intended target there. J.V. and Brownie. Man, there's plays a lot tonight from J.V. and Brownie. We talked about Juwan Lamb and Wilkins. I mean, between those 2 receivers alone, 110 yards and 2 touchdowns between just those 2 receivers alone.
In the half alone.
Yes. All right, 27-21, Springfield leads it. 47.1 seconds remaining here in the half. Courtner for Northmont has the ball at his own 20. 2nd and 20 coming up, and he lobs this one up the far left sideline, and he's going to overthrow the intended target. That's Wilkins, who was on the receiving end of the last touchdown drive.
Yeah, I would go give him a shot again.
All right, so that's stuff
down here.
And the problem is if you don't convert, you have to punt it. And the problem is that's 43 seconds. That's a ton of time,
That's a ton of time
for Springfield, for either of these teams, really. But, man, this is unbelievable. All right, 3rd down and 10 coming up. The clock is stopped at 43 seconds. They have the ball at the 20. They need 10 for the first, Keith, and this is a very crucial play because 43 seconds is a lot of time, especially for this Wildcat offense. Right now, Kortner being chased down by a defender, keeps his eyes locked down the field, still on his feet, and he's taken down. It's a big-time loss. The ball is loose, and Springfield dives on it. I believe they recover, unless they're saying he's down. The official's saying he's down.
Down by contact.
All right. So in a weird way, Northmont doesn't catch a break, but they catch a break because he is down before the ball popped out. Couple players slow to get back up. A very physical first half, Keith. So the tackle.
Another injured player on the field.
Bryce Washington was the outside linebacker for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he was breathing down his neck, huh?
He was chasing him down, and he's the one that popped the quarterback. Now, I can't see who was down. I believe it's Kortner.
I can't tell.
But nonetheless, a player down on the field, I believe, for Northmont. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on. So 27-21, Springfield leads it. On the 3rd and 10, Kortner rolled out from his own 20 and taken down about the 15-yard line. So it's going to be a 5-yard loss. The ball did pop out. Springfield thought they'd come away with it, but the official said no, he was down before.
Down by contact.
Down by contact, so now Bo Douglas taking on all 3 officials right now. By the way, that's quite the scene down there on the field.
6.
He's trying to get a ruling.
Number 6 was the injured player.
Yeah.
South Thigpen. Nope.
No, that's for Northmont. Northmont's number 6 is down, and the quarterback. So that's
Kortner.
So Kortner's had a fantastic game here tonight. He was chased down by Bryce Washington. Wasn't a dirty hit. It was just very good defense chasing him around that corner over there. But now it's going to bring up 4th and long, and that's going to force the punt team to come out.
They got two guys back on the punt return. They're looking for to get something out of this return. Just maybe try to get some more points by the end of the half. You need your best punt right now.
Tyron Barnes lining up just inside the white of the N for Northmont at center field.
He got a good punt off.
Very solid punt, but yeah. That's unfortunate, too, for Northmont because that was one heck of a punt that would have at least put them on the other side, well on the other side of the 50.
Absolutely.
So now that's against Northmont, I believe, so they'll have to march back and hope to get another solid punt. Yep. All right, so 4th and 20 now coming up. And now Northmont will have to punt basically out of their own end zone right now. The punter lining up between the B and the O. In the shaded black end zone right now. 4th and 20. The punter gets it. Gets the punt just off.
Another good punt.
And it'll be fielded right at the 40.
He's running back he ran back 15 yards.
And that's Anthony Brown, by the way. Anthony Brown turns the corner, and he's going to pop it to the 10, and he's taken down at about the 6-yard line. Keith, that's Anthony Brown, one of their biggest weapons, and not just coming through on offense, now coming through on special teams, but there is a flag down on the field. This flag could be crucial.
I think it's going to be on Northmont.
Anthony Brown, unbelievable play right there, or play return, I should say.
Yes, he did.
And this is why that penalty for Northmont was so crucial, because that punt was inside the 40 on the original. And then he was fielded from the 40, and he gets it all the way to the 6-yard line. And this penalty is going to be tacked on top of the return all the way. I mean, what an unfortunate series of events for the Thunderbolts. We were tied at 21. They give up the touchdown. Of course, the missed extra point, and now they quick 3 and out. And they had to punt it off, and now it's going to be 1st and goal with 15 seconds to go for Springfield.
They have 2 timeouts. So they can run the ball or throw it.
They can take their time here again. I'm talking about Javen Norman, the running back for Springfield. Maybe they go just on a simple run play right here. You'd have to imagine they have the timeouts to work with here. They do have 1 timeout remaining. All right, now, but no, that's not what they're going to do. It's going to be an empty backfield set. Springfield leads at 27-21. They have the ball 1st and goal, 15.1 seconds remaining in the half. Springfield would love to punch in another score here. And again, that's going to be Schondelmeyer waits the snap, sends a man in motion. Going to fake the handoff, roll out to his right, keeps his eyes locked in the end zone. Steps up, jumps in, throws it. Anthony Brown, the intended target, but they're saying he came down with it with the foot out of bounds. Incomplete, and now 8.7 seconds up on the clock.
Yes, offsides in Springfield. Another penalty.
So 75 will be credited for the
If
false start.
If I'm Springfield, I may think about kicking a field goal now.
You missed the extra point. You could at least get that point and then a couple more back. And then
7 seconds. It's not about how many timeouts you have left now.
Again, we talked about the kicking game for Springfield. Samuel Freilich 1 for 3 on the season. His long coming from the 30.
That's a break for Northmont.
Yeah, 32-yard. This is about where the 32-yard field goal.
But this play has to be quick. It's only 7 seconds. 8.7 seconds left in the half.
1st and 19. Schondemeyer, empty backfield set. 3 receiver, 2 is left.
Routes and get it down.
Schondemeyer steps in, throws in. And 30.5 seconds remaining here in the half. And it's going to be 2nd and 19. Do you go for the field goal like you talked about, or do you go for one more shot to the end zone? You have the lead.
I got to go for the field goal.
Especially because you missed that
That's why that penalty
point.
Was so crucial. It was down inside the 10.
Hit the ball at the 3.
Inside the 5. And you do that to back it up.
I mean, so again,
I really don't think if they don't score on this play, I don't think they'll get no points.
It was a 28.
I would go for the field goal, have a chance. So there's got to be a perfect play
Freilich,
that's going to score you a touchdown.
Freilich, the kicker for Springfield, his season long is a 28-yarder from right around this spot, nonetheless. But
the only thing could hurt Northmont outside of stopping them is a defensive penalty because the game doesn't end on a defensive penalty.
Look for Anthony Brown here, and again, I wanted that timeout coming in handy here for Springfield. They call it with 3.5 seconds remaining.
Delay of game.
Oh, I thought it was a timeout.
They didn't get the timeout in.
I didn't think that. I should have. So now 3.5 seconds remaining. Springfield has the ball and the 27-21 lead. My goodness, this is an hour and a half first half here this evening. A very long first half, a lot of clock stoppages. Again, 2 passing offenses, and it's been a very entertaining first half at that. So now Schondemeyer, 2nd and 24 for the Wildcat offense. They have 3.5. It's not even about picking up the first down. It's about scoring a touchdown here. They're going to have 30 yards to cover here to get to the end zone. 3.5 seconds. Schondemeyer drops back, steps in, avoids the tackle, going to roll out to his left, avoids the tackle, and this time can't do it. And a big-time stop for the Northmont Thunderbolt defense. Keith, it was 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. They had a chance. Springfield could have went up by double 2 possessions, and the Northmont defense stepped up big time. And Springfield takes what could have been a double-digit 2-possession lead, is now only a 6-point lead into the locker room. What a crazy series of events.
Yeah, I mean, they both coaches, they both need to reset this second half. You know, yes, we had exciting football. We got 27-21, at the half favored to Springfield, but there's 27 points that's just sloppy, 21 points for Northmont sloppy. Not week 10. They've got to play better football. You're happy that you had a lead if you're Springfield, and you're unhappy if you're Northmont, but both teams need to look at themselves in the mirror. The team that comes out and play the most disciplined game football the second half is going to win this game.
All right, folks, it's halftime. 27-21. The Springfield Wildcats lead it over the Northmont Thunderbolts. All right, 20 minutes up on the clock. Justin Kenner, Keith Byers with you here on the call tonight. We send it back to the WING studios with Brandon Williams, where he'll bring you scores around the Miami Valley, and then we'll have our Tonight in High School Football halftime show with Ohio State's Skip Mossick. We'll be right back for second half action. We'll be coming up in the corner. You're listening to our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It ain't this shit.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Hey.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
When your roommate borrows your car every day, it might be a blind spot. Even having people over to jump around on your trampoline. Yep, it also might be a blind spot. Blind spots are all the surprising things that might need more coverage that you weren't aware of. Good thing Allstate agents can help you find those blind spots while watching out for your wallet.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
It's time for kickoff. We now send you down to the field for the ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week.
Brandon Williams here live in the Wing 1410 AM studios in our high school football game of the week. Springfield leads Northmont 27-21 at the half. I'm going to update you guys on some other local scores in the area. Currently, all these games are in the third quarter. Pickwa leads Stebbins 14-7. Winton Woods up over 11 and 24-0. That game is in the third. Fairmont 35 is up 35-3 over Beaver Creek. Jonathan Alder trails Shawnee big 35-7 at halftime. Graham leads 18-14 over the Indian Lakers. Springboro is up 20-14 over the Miamisburg Vikings. Xenia up big over Sydney 34-0. That game in the third quarter. And Chaminade Julienne is up 42-21 in the third over the Alter Knights. Now let's get to the college side. Ohio State finally back in action after a bye week last week. They face Iowa at noon tomorrow. Scarlet the Shoe, they'll be in their all-red uniforms. One question people have been asking, who has Ohio State played? Have they played any competition yet so far, or are they just that good? We'll see. I mean, it's a balanced attack. Run game, pass game, both efficient. Defense looks much improved under Coach Jim Knowles this year, so we'll see. Mayan Williams will be back. We'll finally have Mayan Williams and Trevion Henderson on the field at the same time again, after Trevion Henderson was out 2 weeks ago, and then Mayan Williams was out last week versus Michigan State. But the Buckeyes were able to look good in the run game of both of those games. We'll see what Ohio State does this week. They're number 2 in the country. You could argue that they are the best team in the country when you look at just their full package on offense. On defense, you can argue Ohio State has been the most dominant team so far this year in college football. Staying in college football, myself, I went to Syracuse University for grad school. They have a big game coming up this week. They're ranked again. Syracuse goes to Death Valley to take on Clemson. I'm rooting for my squad to get the upset. Come on, SU. I'm an alma mater. I'm rooting for y'all to get the upset. Number 14 visits number 5. Finally in the top 15 again. First time since I was on campus. This is their best start since I was on campus when they won 10 games in the 2018-2019 season. So I'm rooting for my alma mater to get that upset this weekend. Okay, now let's transition. We can go to the professional leagues, the NFL. The Browns are currently 2-4. They have poor late game execution so far this season. Jacoby Brissett has been decent, but when it gets to late in the game, he hasn't been able to execute for the Browns. We'll see what they do this week. They're 2-4 so far this season. They have 5 more games until Deshaun Watson is able to rejoin the team and make his Browns debut. The next 5 games they have this week, they play the Baltimore Ravens. After that, they play the Bengals. Then they play Miami, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay. And then, how ironic is this? Deshaun Watson will be able to come back when they play against the Houston Texans. So we'll see what they do by the time Watson is able to come back. But they're 2-4. I'm sure they hope to get off to a better start. But since we have a 17-game season, maybe the Browns will be able to make up a little room and have a decent record by the time he gets back. Now let's get to the Bengals. The Bengals are currently 3-3, coming off a good win against Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints. Of course, Andy Dalton was the former quarterback of the Bengals before Joe Burrow was drafted and took over the helm in Cincinnati. But I think it's time for the Bengals to go on a run. They are 3-3. Last year, they had that run late in the season that helped propel them to the Super Bowl. Can they do it again? Hopefully they can, but I think they can. It's time to go on a run. This is what they did last year. Through the first 6 games of last year, I don't think anybody was really looking at the Bengals thinking they were a legit contender. But let's look at their next 5 games. They play at Atlanta. They should win that game. Then they visit Cleveland. I think that's a victory. Cleveland is struggling, as I just mentioned. Jacoby Brissett and the Browns, they have poor late game execution. I think that's another victory for the Bengals. Carolina, they play the Carolina Panthers. Carolina is reeling. They just traded Robbie Anderson, and they just traded Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. I don't think Carolina's going to be able to beat the Bengals. I think that's 3 straight wins. Then they have at Pittsburgh. I think they look to avenge that opening weekend loss against the Steelers. They should win that game as well. That's 4 out of 4 wins in their next 4 games, if you ask me. Then they play at the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee hasn't been as impressive as they were last year. You remember last year they were the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Bengals went on the road in Nashville and were able to take down the Tennessee Titans, but they're not as impressive as they were last year. I think the Bengals win that game as well. So I see them winning 5 out of 5 in their next 5 contests. But after that, they play Kansas City. That could be a loss. You know, Kansas City, of course, wants to get some revenge after the Bengals were able to beat them in the AFC Championship game last year in Kansas City. But we'll see what happens. I think it's time. The Bengals will go on a run. I'm calling it now. The Bengals will go on a run. They'll win 5 out of 5. And then we'll see versus KC. Then they play Cleveland again in Tampa Bay. But I got the Bengals going on a run. It's about time. I think that defense has played well all season. It's time for the defense has played well all season. It's time for the offense to be consistent. I need to see them every week, the run game and the pass game. Just be consistent if you're the Bengals offense. But that's all for me. We'll send it back to Keith and Justin in our high school football game of the week. Again, Northmont trails Springfield 27-21 at the half. So I'll send it back to Justin and Keith.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
Is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tonight in High School Football's halftime reports. And while high school football is huge in many areas of the state, there's nothing quite like Friday nights in the Ohio Valley. We'll chat about that with Joey Claypeck from our Steubenville affiliate next on the Ohio News Network.
I'm Scott Damaro, president of the Ohio Education Association, and on behalf of the OEA's 120,000 members, we're proud to bring you tonight's game. OEA members teach in Ohio's public schools and universities. We drive your kids' buses and serve them lunch. We're school nurses, custodians, librarians, and more. And we coach your kids on the field. We believe in great public schools for every student, and we believe our team is always stronger when we stand together, just as we have for 175 years.
Every farmer has their reason for why they do what they do. For Becks, it's faith, family, and farming. Since 1937, the Beck family and family of employees have been committed to honoring God and helping farmers succeed. Farming is full of extremes, and we face the challenges with hard work and steadfast determination, delivering quality line of products backed by legendary customer service. We look forward to standing by your side, supporting you as you live out the life you were meant to live. Becks, when it comes to farming, we believe in something more.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
We are presented by Beck's Hybrids. At Beck's, they are and will remain farmers at heart. And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game broadcast as we talk a little Ohio Valley high school football this evening with Joey Claypeck, who's covered high school football in the Jefferson and surrounding county areas for years. And, Joey, let's begin with the team that you primarily cover. Another solid and, in this case, record-setting year for the Big Red of Steubenville. 8-1, sitting a solid number one in Division IV, Region 15.
Absolutely. Doing a nice job. And, Coach Reno Saccoccia, I'm sure everybody in the state knows, became the winningest coach in Ohio, picked up win number 402 earlier this year, breaking a tie with Manchester's Jim France. And he now has 409 wins in his career in his 40 seasons at Big Red, 4 state championships. First one came in 1984, which was Reno's second year here in Steubenville, and then back-to-back in 05 and 06, and then one again in 2017. And Big Red has been the state runner-up 5 times under Coach Reno. Looking really good this year. Nice balance. Big Red has always been known for running the football, being a very physical football team up front and also with their backs, big backs. This year they have 2 really big backs in Mr. Ostovich and also Gavin Bazika. Then they can bring in 2 guys, Jalen Minifield and also Xavier Falks, kind of like thunder and lightning there. Defensively, Big Red is getting better. A little suspect against the pass, but definitely working on that. And I credit just the consistency of Big Red's success to the word I just mentioned, consistency. In Reno's 40 years, He has only had 2 offensive coordinators, and he's had 3 defensive coordinators. So that consistency creates a nice developmental program for the kids and the programs at all levels for Steubenville Big Red.
Well, Joey, right behind him in Region 15 is St. Clairsville, a very solid 7-2 season. I know they've got a big one tonight at Cambridge.
Yeah, big one tonight. That's a nice rivalry matchup. Coach Brett McLean has done a fantastic job since taking over the St. Clairsville program. He actually went to a school in West Virginia right across the river at Brooke High School, and about 20-some years ago took over St. C and did a really nice job there. He's another coach that likes the balance between the run and the pass, and definitely has his share of athletes there. And the thing I like about Coach McLean is he gets those kids to play their absolute hardest for him. I mean, they would run through an oak tree for Coach McLean.
Well, Joey, down a division to D5, Region 17. What a story in Richmond Edison, sitting at 9-0.
Yeah, first time ever, school history at 9-0. They've been breaking records. Some people say they really haven't been tested this year, which they haven't. Their starters don't really get to play a whole lot because they get the big leads and coaches getting in the younger guys to build the program for the years to come. But Coach Mike Colopy, he took over the program 2 years ago, and he was the longtime baseball coach and still is the baseball coach at Edison, I believe close to 20 years, and he was asked to take over the football program, and we see the results. Another coach who's very player-oriented and gets the best out of his kids as well. And I wish the Edison Wildcats the best of luck. That's a program that struggled a little bit, and they're kind of the Ohio Valley darlings. Everybody is rooting for Edison here in this area postseason.
Down to D6, Joey. Bel Air is only 5-4 record-wise, but sits in the 3rd position in Region 23.
And they do it right. Bel Air has a long history. I mean, Ohio State fans are going to know a name, Joey Galloway. He graduated, played at Bel Air, and their first-year coach, he's a longtime veteran coach in the Valley, but first year at Bel Air as their head coach, Mark Bonar, he has done a great job. He has a lot of experience. He actually coached in the Arena League for a number of years, and they do a great job at Bel Air of just following the tradition. I mean, on a Saturday afternoon, they don't have lights at Nelson Field, and there's no other tradition in the Valley like a Saturday afternoon at Bel Air. So we wish them the best of luck. Shenandoah is also in that region. Fort Fry is another local school who's in that region who is doing exceptionally well at 8-1.
Joey Claypack has called games for years on our Steubenville affiliate, 106.3 The River. Joey, thanks for coming on. You know we love talking Ohio Valley High School football with you.
Well, thank you, buddy. My pleasure anytime.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Jacob Weekhart from Fort Jennings High School, for his commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
It takes a lot to be able to get to swing a bat good and be able to make consistent contact when you're pitching. It takes a lot to learn all the different pitches, consistently try to throw strikes.
Jacob's friendships are important as well, through sports and through FFA.
I just really like the whole idea of learning more in depth into the agricultural field, traveling and going to like national convention and state convention and meeting all of the new people there. I really find it nice to, meet different people.
Through all his experiences, he's learned the importance of farming.
Agricultural needs determination, hard work, battling through hardships.
At Bex, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
Our thanks again to Joey Claypack for talking some Ohio Valley High School football with us this evening. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Bex Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. A reminder, you can listen to many of our affiliate broadcasts from across the state at onnradio.com from the Ohio News Network.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a number 1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof,
no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens Find Rx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Justin Kinner back with you here as halftime is getting ready to wrap up and second half action about to kick off here. The Northmont Thunderbolts right now trail the Springfield Wildcats 27-21. Both teams back over on their respective sidelines. We're about to get underway here as the Wildcats and Northmont. I mean, give Northmont a ton of credit because their defense was able to kind of get them out of a jam because Springfield had the ball at the goal line. It was first and goal at the 3-yard line, and with under a minute to go, and somehow after a couple penalties and a couple crucial stops, they were able to push Springfield back, of course, and Springfield came out with nothing, which was a huge break, of course, for Northmont. And now they have to kick off. So this is what could have been crucial as they are down 27-21. They almost gave up the score right there at halftime, and then having to kick off here. That could have been a big time backbreaker right there. But nonetheless, they were able to get the stop before the half. Can the defense get the stop to kick things off here at the start of the second half? That's where we're at right now. Northmont getting set to kick off. And the kick is up, and it'll be fielded. Of course, the ball will be fielded right about the 20-yard line. Anthony Brown not coming away with it this time again, but a great return coverage right there. The tackle, and Keith, Springfield not able to get the big return like we've seen them do on a few occasions here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully, there's only one play and a half. I want to see what kind of adjustments both teams made at halftime. I'm sure they both had tongue lashes because that was just both totally undisciplined football to both teams. Too many penalties. We don't have the stat sheet in front of us, but we don't need a stat sheet to know what was too many penalties. It was too many penalties on both sides of the ball. So let's see who plays the cleanest half, because that's going to be the difference in this ball game.
Absolutely. You take the penalties out. Both teams have been very efficient offensively, especially through the air. Both quarterbacks have put on a show here tonight. Shonda, the starting quarterback for the Springfield Wildcats. 1st and 10 from the 28. Shonda going to hand this one off.
Well, he breaks some tackles.
And that's the running back. Again, he's still
he
on
may
his
be gone.
feet, and he's taken down about the 49, the 50-yard line. Again, that is a huge 22-yard pickup right there on the ground. The worst rushing team in the G-Walk just picked up another big gain on the ground, Keith. Really love the running back for the Wildcats, who gets limited opportunities but has made the most of them here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he really is.
Norman, we're talking
Norman,
about.
right, when he gets the ball. And, that's why stats are deceiving. They just don't have as many carries as a whole lot of other schools. But they can run the ball whenever they commit to the running game.
All right, now, so that brings up 1st and 10 from the 50. Again. And they're going to go right back to the running back.
He just picks his way.
Yeah. And the thing is, Keith, they must see something against this Northmont defense that they're committing to the run. We're 9 weeks into the season, 10 weeks into the season, Keith. 9.5 weeks into the season.
Well, they're playing so much coverage, and they're playing soft. So once you get past the front four, linebackers are, real deep, and they got, you got a running back running downhill at them. I'm just happy we've had 3 plays in a row without a penalty.
And that's already a huge upgrade. And give Springfield a ton of credit. They've moved the ball already a good 40 yards, and they've done it without a penalty and without a pass. And that's
yes. How about that?
So now Shonda sends a man in motion. 2nd down, they need 2 for the first ball at the 42. They go right back to Norman. Norman gets the first down. Still on his feet. He's going to get to the 35. Spin move. Still breaks a few tackles and taken down at the 32-yard line.
No, that is a late flag. I hope that's not. What is it? Don't call.
They got used to throwing flags in the first half. I think it's just muscle memory now.
Face mask.
So a crucial face mask right there for the defense.
I didn't see I know he slung him down. I didn't think he got his face mask.
So nonetheless,
it was not
the start you want if you're Northmont. Springfield running the ball right down
their throat. We got the 3 plays in a row without a penalty. The 4th one, it was a penalty after the fact, but
nonetheless. 10:31 to go here in the third quarter. Springfield, Keith, this is a crucial drive, obviously for Springfield, but for Northmont, that bend don't break. I mean, it was first and goal for Springfield in the final drive before the half. Northmont was able to, of course, escape that without giving up any points, which they're lucky because as they had to kick off here, that's going to be crucial too. But you don't want to go down double digit. You don't want to go down 2 possessions against the Springfield team.
No, jet sweep.
Anthony Brown at the 20, and he's tripped up in a tackle for a
That's
loss.
a big-time defensive play. Broke through the receiver's block and made a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Springfield's been good in the red zone, but also bad in the red zone as well. I mean, as that field shrinks, again, this is a team that loves to work with a lot of yards.
I was surprised at that play out of Springfield. They're running east-west. They've had more success running the ball right at them, run right downhill, north-south running. So that was a slow developing play.
All right, now a 5-yard loss. Anthony Brown sweep, and now 2nd and 15 coming up, ball at the 22. 9:40 to go here in the third quarter. 27-21, 6-point advantage for the Wildcats. Shondelmeyer sends a man in motion, awaits the snap, gets the snap at the 30, avoids the tackle, steps into the throw. Anthony Brown, the intended target, is picked off, and the cornerback going to get the ball back to the 10-yard line. That bend don't break. Back-to-back trips to the red zone for the Wildcats, and they come away with nothing. This time a turnover. How about the defense for Northmont? An unbelievable play right there.
You know, I've been saying better offense than defense, but that time that was better defense than offense. You know, the quarterback, Shondelmeyer, underthrew it and allowed the defender to come in and intercept it. But you got to give Northmont credit. Like I said, it was bend but don't break, and, you know, he made the play. Yeah, good on Northmont.
He did make the play. And now the last time we saw Courtner, and again, the offense for Northmont, again, they were under a minute to go. You could kind of feel like they felt rushed. They felt like they had to get that ball down the field, although they do play at a quick pace. Now they could slow down. Now they can let the game come to them. I'm excited to see what they do with this drive right here. They got a lot of ground to cover, though, Keith. They have the ball at their 9-yard line.
6-point ball game.
They have 91 yards to cover here, but they have a lot of time. They trail by 6. A score and an extra point gives them the lead.
Let's see. This is our first look at Springfield's defense in the second half. Let's see if they're ready to play. And so, tackle for a loss. How about that? 2-yard loss.
Springfield has to be kicking themselves right now. Again, a very effective opening drive. They ran the ball effectively, something they have not done all season. And then they get down into the red zone and then an interception. We don't see many of those from Shondelmeyer. In fact, Shondelmeyer, Keith, that's only his 7th interception on the season. Now, 7 sounds like a lot, but for a kid that has thrown the ball 250 times
in counting,
I'd say that's no, it's about what in counting. You're right. All right, now Courtner awaits the snap, 2nd and 11. Courtner gets the ball, foot on the end zone, and he's Keith. This could be a safety.
They'll call him on the 1-inch yard line.
Oh wow! So Northmont avoids disaster right there. 27-21. It's still Northmont football, but Keith, it's 3rd and 18, and they have to. I mean, you have to call a play here. You don't have time to let the play almost develop to pick up the first year. You have to really worry that your offensive line can give Courtner time to throw the football and not get the safety.
Yeah.
So big opportunity here for Springfield to try to avoid the, coming out on top despite the.
But they can always get a penalty for a first down.
3rd down and 18. They run the football to safely get out of the end zone, Keith. Smart move there. They get the ball back to the
field. From backed up.
Yeah. Holy moly. So on the 3rd and 18, Keith, they handed off. They picked up 4. A big old pile of white and yellow, and then, of course, the green. And then Springfield comes up cheering.
Talk about a late fumble.
The official is pointing towards the end zone. They're saying a fumble, and it's going to be Springfield football at the 4-yard line, I believe. Unbelievable. It was the highs of highs. Northmont, they get the interception of Shondelmeyer. It feels like they're about to march down the field and tie it up and take the lead. And then now they fumble it inside their 5-yard line. And now
I never saw the ball come out. I didn't even really see the scrum for the football. Next thing I know, the official was pointing a Springfield ball at the 5-yard line. 4.5-yard line.
Look for Javen Norman here for the Wildcats. It's 1st and goal. They have the ball at the 4-yard line. 7:55 to go, and Springfield leads at 27-21. Shondelmeyer awaits the snap. They're going to go right back to the big man right at the middle. He's popped.
I said go north-south, but
Springfield has not been they have not done a good job when they've been close
the
to the
red zone. The red zone offense has been horrible.
And so a tackle for a lot. I mean, they had the red zone appearance, of course, right before halftime. Came away with nothing. They got into the red zone again to kick things off in the second half. Shondelmeyer throws the interception, and now the 3rd straight trip into the red zone. They have to come away with at least something.
They got to have something.
Second and goal. Now they need 3 for the score.
If it comes down to a field goal, they about the same point with extra point that it got blocked last time.
You have Thigpen in the far right. Of course, you have Anthony
I
Brown.
got to find Anthony Brown, give him a chance to win this, to get the lead.
Dalen Bradley.
Bigger lead.
Duncan Bradley again. And they get to the quarterback. He's hit.
He got
right now
rid
he's
of
still
it.
on his feet,
Touchdown.
and that's going to be a touchdown for the Springfield Wildcats. And Keith, got to give Northmont credit. They put the pressure on him. I mean, one split second.
What a play.
Shondemeyer. I mean,
2 guys draped on him, and he got the awareness to get rid of the football.
But again,
to his receiver there was running back for the touchdown.
costly mistakes here in the second half already for Northmont, some penalties, and then, of course, the turnover. Springfield able to capitalize this time. They were up 27 to 21, and now they're up 33 to 21 and an extra point away from adding to their 2-possession lead here.
I'm surprised they didn't go for 2 here.
Exactly, to pick up that extra point that they missed the last time, a high snap.
Nice snap.
They
Good
get
kick.
this one up. All right, so it's 34 to 21, a 13-point advantage now for the Wildcats with 6:59 to go here in the third quarter. How will the Thunderbolts respond? We'll find out. They'll receive the kick. It is 34-21 Springfield, 6:59 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. Excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Springfield leads it over the Northmont Thunderbolts here. Springfield will kick off. Northmont will receive. It was 27 to 21 at the half, and of course, Springfield received the opening kickoff of the second half, and then, of course, the Northmont defense stepped up big and forced was able to get the interception off Shondemeyer. But then, after that, their offense fumbles it inside the 5, and this time in the red zone, Springfield was able to capitalize. Keith, they've really struggled in the red zone, but they didn't struggle there. They just get the playoff in time, but nonetheless, they come away with the needed 7 points to extend their lead.
Yeah, I mean, the red zone.
Oh man, that kickoff, Keith, it just rolled inside the 5 and just tapped on the pylon, which is enough to give him the flag, of course. So, nonetheless,
it would have been I was going to say a smart play for the kick returner. When they're rolling like that, go over there, stand out of bounds, and touch the ball.
So nonetheless, we await the official. Yeah, so 6:59 to go here in the third quarter alone, and it's a 34-21 lead for Springfield. So the ball's at the 25 now.
No, but Justin, I'm saying what the kick returner should have did, run over there, put both his feet out of bounds, and touch the football. He's out of bounds. It's an out-of-bounds kick.
So awaiting the official ruling again. Obviously, the flag against the kicking team. So the 35-yard line, Keith. Not that I said the 25. My apologies. The 35. So a break right now for Northmont. Can they capitalize on this break? Because, again, they've had a lot of unfortunate series of events that have happened to kick things off here in the second half. If they can find a way to score and turn this back into a one-possession game, rely on the defense to find another way to get a stop, that'd be key. But they have to find a way to score on this drive. You don't want to be down 13 and give the ball back to Springfield, who smells blood in the water, and then all of a sudden they close this out with a lot of time left.
Exactly.
Springfield will have a chance to open this game up if they can get a stop here.
Must score, but it's close to it right now.
I agree. All right, now, and that's a high pass and overthrows the intended target there. That'll stop the clock in 2nd and 10 coming up.
He was a little upset about it. He was open.
Receiver was anxious because he was open, and I think Kortner was too. I think that's why he got a little too excited on the throw and overthrows him. 2nd and 10 now coming up from the 35-yard line. Ball's at the 35 after the penalty off the kickoff that went out of bounds. The kickoff, of course, rolled and just slightly tapped the pylon, which was out of bounds.
Yep. I mean, it's out of bounds.
2nd and 10 at the 35, 6:55 to go here in the third. Kortner drops back, steps into the throw, and another
nice throw.
Incompletion right there.
Just through the hands of the receiver. He's got to look that in all the way.
So 3rd and 10 coming up. The last thing you want if you're Northmont after Of course, getting the ball at the 35 is to have a 3-and-out right away. Not being able to capitalize on this could be crucial. So they have to find a way to pick up the first down here on the third.
Well, it's been a game of big plays. Why not one right now?
6:49 remaining here in the third quarter. 3rd and 10 coming up from the 35. Kortner gets the snap, drops back, steps into the pocket, keeps his eyes locked on the field. He throws it all the way over, connects to number 3. He's still on his feet, and he avoids a couple tackles, Keith, and picks up the first down. That is just what they need.
That is a late. If that's holding in the backfield, he is holding. That is an extremely late call by the official. The ball was almost out of the quarterback's hand when he called it.
Wilkins on the receiving end, at least as of now, but they are bringing this back, and Northmont walking it back. We haven't all the games we've called this season. We haven't had a lot of penalties. I think all the
season's worth of penalties in one half.
Season's worth of penalties. Yes, here
first
tonight.
Half we had a season's worth, but now we just breaking the record here in the second half.
So now it'll be 3rd and long, Keith.
Yeah, we evaluate the players, but the referees are evaluated also. And I think they're going to be under fire from the Referees Association. They're just a little too nitpicky tonight.
3rd and long, 3rd and 24 from the 21. 6:35 to go here. Kortner sends a man in motion, quickly throws it out. That's Wilkins on the receiving end. Wilkins is going to bounce it back out to the outside.
Just out of real estate, that's all.
Yep. So nothing left to work with there. Now a 3-and-out, Keith. A 4-and-out technically. They had to replay 3rd down, but yes, the punt team will come out, and that is not what you want if you're Northmont. The pressure is all on the defense right now, unfortunately, for Northmont, who has to find a way to get a stop because you give up a score here, you're now down 3 possessions. And then it's very tough to come back against a team like Springfield again.
Yeah, you run out of possessions. You need a lot of help.
It's tough to stop Springfield on back-to-back possessions. So getting a stop here will be crucial. A very nice punt that's going to roll up and drop.
Get away. Are they going to get away from the ball?
So that punt will roll inside the 35, right about the 34-yard line, Keith, and that's where they'll down it, and that's where the Springfield offense will come back out onto the field. So I'm curious to see how Springfield comes back out onto the field and executes the offense. I mean, they were having a lot of success the last time on the field when they were just going and relying on the run game. Javen Norman, they were, feeding him the ball pretty heavily, and he was marching the ball down the field. Of course, the penalty for Northmont then brought them all the way even further, put them in the red zone. But I'm curious to see if they continue to feed the ball to the running back.
I hope so. I mean, that eats up clock, and then you're up by 2 scores. Why would you, not try to take some time off instead of, just don't get greedy and start slinging it, hoping for the big play. But the big play can come in the running game. Open up with a pass. He's trying to get it all.
All right, now Shondelmeyer throws to Anthony Brown. He connects to Anthony Brown, and Anthony Brown's walking into the end zone for the score. They had the ball at the 34-yard line. Anthony Brown, unbelievable.
And they got the shot. Big-time throw, big-time play.
A 65-yard touchdown pass by Shondelmeyer to Anthony Brown. And Anthony Brown scores here tonight. He's had a couple nice plays on special teams, a couple big, plays between the 20s, but right there they connect on the 65-yard touchdown pass. We've seen so many big passing plays tonight. That's obviously one of them right there, the biggest of the night for Springfield. And that opens this game wide open at 40-21, an extra point away from making it a 20-point ball game. So now an extra point away. Do you go for 2 on this one, Keith? I mean, might as well.
Well, that would make it a 3 scores. It's a 3-score game anyway, but it would be a true 21-point lead, 3 touchdowns if you get it to go up 42-21.
Surprised they didn't do it the last time down the field, but nonetheless, it does look like that's what they're going for here. If you're just joining us, Springfield and Northmont, our Week 10 ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week. It was 21-all, but a 19-0 run here by Springfield makes it 40-21, potentially 41-21.
Oh, what is the delay? Oh, we got an injured Northmont player in the end zone. I'm sorry. Got an injured player. In the end zone.
So a player for Northmont down in the end zone. The trainer's in the back of the end zone, attending to the player. 5:37 to go. We'll take a quick timeout. It's 40-21. Springfield with the lead. An extra point away from adding to it. 5:37 to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Justin Kinner back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. 40-21, Springfield leads it, an extra point away from making it 41-21 with 5:37 remaining here in the third quarter. The snap, the hold, the kick, and the extra point is good. And now it's 41-21 with 5:37 to go in the third quarter. And this has been a horrendous second half start for the Northmont Thunderbolts. We were tied at 21-all at the half. We were gearing up for what we thought, or it was 27-21, but nonetheless, an opportunity here for Northmont. They were able to intercept Schondelmeyer. They were able to, get the interception against Schondelmeyer on the opening drive for the Wildcats. And then all of a sudden the penalties kind of piled up, and then the turnover inside the red zone, and then Springfield countered with a score of their own, and now they are up 41-21. And now we'll have a chance to see how Northmont will respond as their kick return team making their way back onto the field. 5:37 remaining here. Right now, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of our scores around the Miami Valley coming up here in just a moment. A lot of big games here tonight, especially on the G-Walk. Centerville and Wayne going head-to-head tonight as well. We'll have a score update for that matchup coming up here in just a few moments. All right, now Springfield getting set to kick off. The ball is in the air. The ball will be fielded right about the 5-yard line. He's going to bounce out. He's at the 15, still on his feet. He's going to get to the 20, cut back out, and he'll run out of bounds. And again, nice return right there from the 15-yard return, and that's going to bring out Courtner and the Northmont offense back out onto the field. Crucial drive here, Keith. I mean, it's 41-21, but you'd have to imagine they can't afford to get another 3 and out here.
No, they can't. They need to, get back in this ball game the same way they did in the first half, one play at a time. And there's not a play in a playbook that's going to give them 20 points. So they had to be patient and be efficient and speed up the time.
All right, now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 24 with 5:28 to go here in the third quarter. Northmont trailing 41-21, and Courtner on the offense trying to find a way to get in some kind of rhythm to get back into this ball game, and it starts with this drive right here.
The referees know we're not here to watch them. Because we've had a lot of tension tonight. We want to see the kids play.
I mean, it's 9. This game kicked off at 7 o'clock. It's 9:17, and we still have 5:28 to go here in the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter. There's a baseball game on in the background right now. I think a baseball game might get done before this high school football game. That's nonetheless. Big drive coming up here for the Thunderbolts. Empty backfield set. Again, Courtner lines up. 1st and 10 from the 24. Courtner awaits the snap. Courtner gets the snap, drops back, keeps his eyes downfield, throws as he's hit, and that's, I believe, Wilkins on the receiving end. But he had to kind of go down to catch that.
Yeah.
Again, the pass was low due to the pressure.
He's under duress. He can't step into the throw.
So I believe it was incomplete, and it was. 2nd and 10 now coming up. We'll have some score updates here in just a few moments. Keeping you locked in here down on the field. Again, one of the biggest games in the Miami Valley happening right here in front of us tonight, Northmont and Springfield. 41-21, Springfield with the lead. 5:23 to go here in the third quarter. Courtner awaits the snap. Ball to 24. Sends a man in motion. He hands it off on the jet sweep. He's still on his feet. He'll be about 2-3 yards short of the first, but nonetheless,
It's going to be a crucial third down coming up right now.
So a big tackle right there for Springfield, and it sets up a 3rd and short coming up. And again, 2 yards. A lot of pressure on Northmont right now. I mean, they've been living in their territory the last couple of offensive possessions. For them, they have to find a way to
getting a lot of penetration, like you said.
Get the ball in the, move the chains a little bit to kind of breathe and set up a 1st and 10 fresh full set of downs to work with. But they have to pick up these next 2 crucial yards. I mean, we'll see what decision they make. But if they don't,
they went for 4th down in the first half in minus territory. I don't think they don't need to. The lack of discipline. Again, jumping offside by Springfield.
And Springfield's been a lot more disciplined, if you will, in the second half, but not right there. And Northmont catches a break right there because
easy first down.
Yeah, that's and they needed that because right now Northmont has not looked comfortable offensively in the second half. I would have been confident that they picked that up in the first half. I'm not confident right now. They needed that. Fresh full set of downs now. 1st and 10, ball to 37. Courtner, some players run into one of them. He throws this up at the far left sideline. Wilkins, his intended target. Heavily covered, by the way. I like the defense of Springfield right there by Aaron Scott, the cornerback. He's 6'1", 169 pounds. Keith, only a junior, but great secondary. Great coverage right there on the very talented Wilkins.
He was all over him. Good coverage. And with the quarterback, gave his receiver a chance. He just couldn't keep the ball in the bounds.
4:29
defense,
to go.
the advantage defense. So we've been watching this battle all night.
Yeah, a little mini timeout without the timeout. I'm not really sure what. 2nd and 10 now coming up. The clock continues to move. Ball at the 37-yard line. 41-21, Springfield with the lead. Northmont trying to find a way to get a rhythm going offensively for the first time here in the second half. Courtner awaits the snap. 23 seconds on the play clock. Courtner gets it. They're going to hand it off to the big back. He's going to cut back up into the middle of the field and tripped up at about the 40. About a 3-yard pickup, Keith. We'll go ahead and give you some of the updated scores around the Miami Valley here. How about Stebbins and Piqua, Keith? The 35-15 lead in the 4th quarter. Piqua over Stebbins right now.
Okay.
Troy over Butler, 27-20. And then the big one out of the GWAC, Centerville, in the 4th quarter has a 3-point lead over Wayne.
That's a barn burner. They're going at each other. That's 2 very good football teams.
Yeah, 31-28 Centerville over Wayne in the 4th quarter. Courtner awaits the snap on the 3rd and 6 from the 41. Quick release, and again going to Wilkins, and again they're going to call pass interference.
Oh, my God.
He was running behind him. I don't even know.
I really didn't see pass interference on that play.
If you ask a Northmont fan, they'll say, we saw. He was all over. But, nonetheless. And again, Northmont right now, they need a lot of breaks to go their way.
Yeah,
this could be a break going their way. And I think we were just talking about the great coverage from Aaron
I'm going to
Scott.
start counting. How many plays in a row can we get without a penalty? I think the record right now is 3. Wow, this is a 15-yard. What did he call it? Taunting? Yeah.
So Aaron Scott, the defender for the cornerback for Springfield, they called for
he made it a
interference.
spot call. It seemed like it was NFL.
Another 3-yard pickup right there on the 1st and 10 from the 44, so that'll move up a couple yards. This is the drive that Northmont needed. They need to make sure they come away with points on this drive, though, because they are taking a lot of time off. But this is a good drive right now, offensively, yes, but obviously for the defense, because the defense is winded right now.
You go back earlier in that drive, earlier in this drive, it was 3rd and 2. And Springfield jumps off sides, gives them a first down, and they've gotten, that helps shoot life back into Northmont.
2nd and 8 from the 42. Courtner steps into the throw. And again, that was Tyron Barnes, the cornerback for Springfield. Tyron Barnes.
Yeah, not much
there. Yep. So now that'll bring up 3rd and 8, Keith. Another big 3rd down coming up here. You have to think you're in 4-down territory at this point because you're already down 20 points.
Yeah.
You have to find a way. I mean, right now you have 2 downs to pick up 8 yards.
Unless you bar a sack, I would say go for it on 4th down.
All right.
We
big
got
third
10
down
seconds
coming
left
up.
on the play clock, and Northmont's got to get lined up.
And see, now that they're rushing this, I don't like this for Northmont. 3 seconds on the play clock, 2 seconds, 1 second, and they call the timeout. And exactly, that's what you had to do right there. Smart decision. I'd rather see that than them rush up to the line of scrimmage and jump off sides or something along those
the
lines.
game is hanging on the thread right now.
Yeah, that penalty could have been the difference. All right, so a timeout out on the field. Northmont takes the timeout. They just avoid the delay of game. And it'll be.
But again, that's our timeouts are crucial, especially here in the second half. So,
especially if Northmont's able to score on this drive and make it a 2-possession game, they make a ball game of this again, then that timeout, you're right, that could come back and haunt them. And that's something you bring up almost every week coming right out of the half, watching coaches burn timeouts early. Now, that one they needed to burn. It's unfortunate, but
but they should have just got to play in.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about it.
So third down now, they need 8 for the first. They have the ball at the Springfield 42-yard line. 2:46 to go here in the third quarter. Time is starting to work against Northmont a little bit. You need to get a score on this drive, and you need to do it soon to give your defense an opportunity to get a stop and get the offense back out there again. Here we go now. Big third down coming out of this timeout. Courtner
trips to the left.
Yep. Courtner awaits the snap. 3rd and 8 from the 42. Courtner drops back. Pressure coming in. Steps into the pocket. Avoids the tackle. And this time he's going to be taken down. And the ball's loose. And I believe Springfield recovers, Keith, and they do. Another fumble lost. And again, more flags are thrown. I don't know what would be faster, either just a running clock or telling the refs they can't throw flags the rest of the
time. Either way, we got to do something. It's okay not to call every call.
But nonetheless, that's an unfortunate turnover for Northmont. Crucial turnovers. That's the second turnover this half. And he was able, he got the ball. He stepped up in the pocket.
He was indecisive. Either you run or you don't. He was in a gray area and ended up losing the ball. Lost his balance and the ball came out.
So now we get to see the offense. Schondelmeyer and the Wildcats come back out into the field again here in this third quarter with 2:39 to go. Schondelmeyer this time going to go right back to Norman and hand it off. And good defense by Northmont. They come out and they swallow him up in a tackle for a loss of at least 3.
They got a lot of penetration that time on Northmont's defense. They do play hard. Sometimes this year I've seen them play flat, but I never accused Northmont of not playing the hardest for all 48 minutes of the ball game.
All right, now that brings up 2nd and 13. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Schondelmeyer along with Norman lined up in the backfield. We saw a lot of empty back sets in that first half. We've seen Norman heavily involved in the backfield here tonight. Schondelmeyer steps in the throw. They're going to go right back to Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown had a 65-yard touchdown catch the last time and a 60-yard touchdown catch this time. Unbelievable performance here tonight from Anthony Brown. Back-to-back scoring drives for Springfield, both through the air and both to Anthony Brown.
If you're going to play him one man-to-man coverage, they're going to take advantage of it. You have got to give a safety over the top. And that's not what happened. Even one-on-one wide receiver. Either defensive back has got to back up and play cover 3. You can't play press coverage against a great receiver like that.
Unbelievable performance here tonight from Springfield again in what was a heavyweight duel back and forth. All of a sudden, Springfield's gone for the knockout.
Right, they're separating themselves.
Absolutely, 48-21. Springfield right now, again, just continuing to extend the lead. They lead at 48-21, 1:50 to go. They'll kick off. Northmont will receive. We'll step away. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
All right, we welcome you back. It's 48-21, Springfield with the huge lead as they've really opened things up here in the third quarter. Again, Springfield, one of the top teams in the state, to get the number 2 team out of Division I Region 2. And keep in mind, this is a team that obviously not the most disciplined team. They do have a lot of penalties called against them, but they were really sloppy in that first half. They've had a few penalties here in the second half, but nothing like what we saw in the first. As they've cleaned that up, though, they've been able to get into a rhythm offensively, and they've been dang near unstoppable. How about Anthony Brown? One of the biggest weapons in the Miami Valley here in any football team this season. Again, back-to-back drives where he's on the receiving end of a 60-plus yard touchdown catch. Unbelievable performance from him here tonight. 1st and 10 for Northmont. And now he's going to throw on the run and an incomplete pass that stops the clock. 1:38 to go now, 48-21. 2nd and 10 now coming up from the 26. So 35-31, the Wayne Warriors, they take the lead. It was 31-28 Centerville over Wayne. Now Wayne takes the lead 35-31 in the fourth quarter. That's a great game going on here tonight in Centerville on their senior night here tonight as they close out the regular season. 2nd and 10 now from the 26. Steps into the pocket. Now he rolls out to his left, throws across his body, and another incomplete pass right there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Keith, the offense just looks flat at this point now for Northmont.
Yeah,
they've lost all confidence.
You know, I said at the top of the show, you know, when Northmont gets off to a good start and they stay engaged, they're in it. But then when they face some adversity, you know, they seem to fold up the tent and be like, maybe next week. Well, there are no more next weeks, you know, now, no more guarantees. And so you got to play this thing out. And right now, you can look at the sidelines. You know, the players are lethargic, and it's like almost waiting for it to be over with. And we still got a whole quarter of football to play.
All right, now Kortner lines up on the 3rd and 10 from the 26, 131. Kortner drops back, avoids pressure, rolls to his left again, and then he has to throw on the run. Deep throw. And that's another incomplete and another 3-and-out, Keith.
Yes. I mean, you know, it's fine when you get some big plays, but you got to still don't abandon the running game. You still want to move the chains, and they just came out with those 3 plays of just, you know, taking shots, trying to get it all back in one play. Just run your offense. You know, you got to commit to something, and they're just not doing that right now.
All right, so again, Keith, Wayne over Centerville right now in the fourth quarter, 35-31. Xenia shuts out Sydney, 34-0. Springboro final there, 34-24 over Miamisburg. And the punt is out, by the way. And I believe that is, either way, he's going to return it. That's Anthony Brown.
Step out of bounds.
Anthony Brown, in his defense, he's tired. You know,
he's got a lot of work. He's got a lot of work tonight.
He's been running all over tonight. Trotwood, Keith, they knock off Thurgood Marshall tonight, 48-8, the final there. Fairmont beats Beaver Creek. Fairmont was shut out last week. They lost 7-0 against Centerville. And to close out the regular season, they take care of business tonight against Beaver Creek. I believe I was told last week by a Fairmont representative that they needed to win one of the final 2 to host a playoff game. I don't know how that's going to work out, but they take care of business tonight against Beaver Creek. 42-3, the final there. They're looking forward to potentially hosting a playoff game, but we have a lot to iron out there as far as what that's
good that they're in the playoffs, so you got a chance.
All right, continuing to go down the list here, Keith. Real quick, live action down on the field. Springfield offense back out there.
Yeah, but Springfield going into the playoffs next week, they have got to play better. They want to get back to that state championship game that they were at last year. They've got to play better.
How about Chaminade? How about CJ over Alter, Keith? 49-28. CJ ends with the big win in the final game.
That's a little traditional rivalry, Catholic school rivalry.
That's a big one right there. Again, continuing to go down the list. We'll keep you updated on some of the other games here coming up momentarily. 2nd and 14. There's 37 seconds and counting on the clock here as the third quarter about to wrap up here shortly. Fourth quarter action coming up if you're just joining us.
You got the safeties back deep now.
Shonda steps into the throw and connects. And that's going to be.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I thought he ran out of bounds, and he's still rolling. He's going to get to the 10, the 5.
No.
He's going to trip up about 3 yards short of the touchdown, Keith. And that was number.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe that was number 2, and that was Dalen Bradley, by the way, for Springfield. Dalen Bradley.
Yeah, he relaxed.
If he would have scored there, Keith, that would have been the third straight 50-plus yard touchdown pass from Shondemeyer. So, nonetheless, Shondemeyer waits the snap. And they go right back to the run game, and he's going to – oh, man, he might have been – oh, no, touchdown. I'm sorry, touchdown on the ground. And that's number 4, Javen Norman. Talked about this a few times. Javen Norman, 5 total touchdowns on the season coming into tonight. That's his 3rd touchdown on the ground here tonight alone. That brings his total to 8, Keith. 6.5 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and that's 54-21. With the way this game started, Keith, I'm stunned at how quickly Springfield just blew this game wide open.
Yeah, I mean, they came out like they made some adjustments at halftime. You see, Springfield they think they got one penalty in this third quarter, but they're doing more little things right than Northmont is right at this point.
The extra point is good, and that's going to make it 55-21. All Springfield.
The final score of this game, even though we're in the third quarter, is not going to be indicative of how the closest game was at the half.
All right, so now we'll see Springfield. And again, I feel like we've seen a lot of Northmont's offense, but it's just a lot of 3 and outs. And then Springfield comes out, and they have about 3 plays in the score, and then they're kicking it off once again. Nonetheless, so with this game tonight, obviously this has just been an absolute blowout, but I have no clue what's happening right now.
It's the Springfield coaches over there, I think, being a little unprofessional. They're talking about bidding up 50 points, and you got to play with a little more. We shouldn't hear that in the press box.
Nonetheless, so Springfield about to kick off here in a game that right now, a lot of people starting to kind of make their way towards the exits of this blowout here this evening. But we've got a lot of very close games.
We've had offense you've been looking for all season.
Yes, 3 games, 3 very close games of no one scoring over 10 points. But nonetheless, that's where we're at right now here tonight. Springfield taking care. This is, the Springfield's as advertised, by the way. At Northmont, the thing they've been very up and down all season, but you could see they have the weapons offensively to kind of go toe to toe with a lot of top offensive teams in the conference, but the inconsistencies have been the problem. All right, the third quarter has come and gone now, and it is 55-21 all Springfield. 12 final minutes put up on the clock. Fourth quarter action coming up next. 55-21 Springfield over Northmont. More of our ESPN Dayton High School football game of the week when we come back.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Ohio are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back. Justin Kenner, Keith Byers with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station 1410 Wing AM. Week 10 of the high school football season is getting ready to wrap up, at least for us here. Again, one final quarter. Springfield leads it big over Northmont 55-21, and a lot of other finals around, not just the G-Walk, but around the Miami Valley. We'll highlight some of those finals coming up here in a moment. Kortner and Northmont's offense back out on the field. It's unfortunate, series of events that have led to just Springfield kind of opening this game wide open here in the second half. And it was a very entertaining first half, Keith, almost like a heavyweight fight again, just blow for blow, both teams giving each other just one good strong swing after another. But Northmont is not able to overcome a couple of the turnovers and key penalties to start things in the second half. It was a 27-21 score at the half. Northmont, they intercept Schondelmeyer, and it looked like they were going to be able to capitalize on that interception and come down and take the lead possibly. And it has been, it's just been all Springfield since then.
Yes, this Northmont team has got to be able to overcome adversity. You know, they did that in the first half, but you got to do that for the whole game.
So now a big pickup there on the ground. So a 3rd and 2 coming up, Keith. And I know right now, obviously, regardless of what the score is and whether or not there's a realistic chance of coming back in this, it's just being able to kind of extend a drive. They got to find a way to at least end this game with some kind of confidence right now.
Yeah, if this is the last game of the season, you want something to build on during the offseason and in the postseason. And they have to take care of themselves, the little things right. That starts with discipline. Too many unforced errors. 15-yard penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. You don't need that. Holding.
So right now coming into this week, Keith, Northmont at 5-4. In Division I, Region 2, the computer rankings have them at number 13. Again, the top 16 teams in each region, the top 16 schools from each region, and the final report coming up tomorrow will qualify for the playoffs.
Right.
I'm not the most well-versed on how a loss will impact them, but them being on that fringe line at number 13, I don't know what a loss against Springfield will do as far as moving them.
People in that 13
yeah.
20 range that still have mathematically a chance to make the playoffs.
So at a Division I, Region 2, Dublin Jerome, they're the number 1 team in Division I, Region 2. Springfield, number 2. So they were safe no matter what. And
yes.
The top 8 teams, Keith, get to host a playoff game. So keep that in mind.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but listen to this. It's basically Division I, Region 2 is basically the G-Walk because the Springfield coming in at number 2 in Division I, Region 2, Centerville at 3. And then in the mix, too, you have Kettering, you have Fairmont at 6, and then Wayne at 7. And then, of course, you continue going down that list. You get all the way to Northmont coming in at number 13. Now, the teams behind them, Findlay, Lewis Center, Olentangy, Orange, Miamisburg comes in at 17. Miamisburg, I think, that's one heck of a team. Today, right? I think they missed the playoffs. They lost tonight. Miamisburg, that's a heck of a team. That's how loaded the G-Walk is that elite, good teams. And again, their record may not speak elite. They were too inconsistent. But, Jackson McGowan and company, the weapons that they have, that team missed the playoff.
I think they have some disciplinary issues on that team, too. One time you see the quarterback in there, next time you don't. No explanation. He's not hurt.
And the one quarterback is significant, and that's not a shot at the other quarterback, but there's a night and day difference when you see that quarterback out there for Miamisburg, and again, some movement out there on the line.
Yeah.
By the way, the officials were being evaluated tonight, Keith, and those were the guys next to us that were evaluating the officials. So I was getting a kick out of you giving your evaluations, but good, they needed to hear. They're why we're you are struggling. What is wrong with you?
I can't put a pop on it.
I was gonna say,
I'm trying to put a pop on a can of Pupsi.
You just fumbled 3 times on that attempt.
I won't do that in Madden 23, though.
Yes.
I don't fumble the ball in Madden 23. So
there you go.
Unlock my character.
I do want to give a shout out to Chuck and Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken for feeding us in the pregame. I wanted to make sure that we gave them a shout out. They always take care of us in the pregame. I appreciate that. So shout out to Chuck and Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and Cameron. Shout out to Cameron as well.
Cameron Langer.
Yep. So thank you guys again for taking care of us in the pregame. Thank everyone here at Northmont, by the way. We come out here about at least once a season, but again, Northmont does a great job of always welcoming us out here again to call these games and calling tonight's finale. Great first half, exciting start to the third quarter. But man, you want to talk about
the third quarter of Springfield? That was the difference of this ball game.
And that's a night and day
They scored
difference.
every time they got it.
And again, another handoff, and he spun around. I think he lost a yard on that on the 1st and 10 on the handoff there. 6:34 to go. As far as what's coming up for our live coverage here throughout the weekend, former Buckeye Tim Williams and myself will be tomorrow at the Submarine House in Centerville.
In Centerville.
We'll be in Centerville tomorrow for the Buckeye pregame show. Again, 1410 Wing AM. We are Dayton's ESPN radio. Or I'm sorry, we are Dayton's radio home for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So Tim Williams and I will be at Submarine House in Centerville from 10:30 until noon until kickoff, and then we hang out for the first half and hang out with everyone. Of course, Courtner steps into the throw and overthrows the intended target there. I do like Courtner, by the way. He's made some very impressive throws tonight. I think that once the game got away, I think you could see him just forcing a lot of stuff that normally, but like when the game was tight and in that first half, I thought he played very confident. He stepped in. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with it. It's unfortunate the game kind of unraveled the way it did, but I do like Courtner in the attack of Northmont here tonight. But yeah, so Submarine House in Centerville tomorrow, and then you and I will be – you're going to be at the Buckeye game tomorrow.
I will be there tomorrow. I'll be in the building.
When you think about that Iowa defense,
I think the Iowa defense is really good.
And this ball is in the air and waiting for the official
hit the
ruling.
ground.
Saying incomplete, but a near interception there. That interception would have been potentially at the 44-yard line, but they're saying an incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the clock continues.
You have Ohio State and Iowa both coming off bye weeks. Ohio State, hopefully they got some guys healthy and they're ready to break. They was running to the bye week real sharp offensively and defensively. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of secondary our corners are playing with. But Iowa, I'm telling you, their defense is really good, but that offense is really bad. And coming out of a bye week, I don't know how much difference you can make after 6 games. I think Brian Ferenz, the coach's son, as offense coordinator, it's time to let somebody else call the plays. But hopefully he continues to call the plays against the Buckeyes and to make that adjustment afterwards. But again, that's the game the Buckeyes would. It's their game to lose. They don't come out flat after the bye week. Come out firing all cylinders. I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Again, and by the way, what is today? So today is the 21st.
My son's birthday. Shout out to Keith Byers II. 28 years old.
November 2nd, it's a Wednesday. Speaking of birthdays, that's my birthday, November 2nd. But
November 2nd.
The very first college football playoff poll will be revealed on November 2nd. So that's coming up in a few weeks. This is a big couple of weeks. Look, I think Ohio State's fine. You just win, you're in. I'm not worried about Ohio State getting into the playoff. But, they have Iowa this week, Penn State next week. Those 2 wins, Ohio State obviously going to be in the top 4, but I'm fascinated by what's going on around Ohio State. The SEC, regardless of how it's viewed, I mean, there's 3 teams right there vying for those 3 spots. And I saw a scenario today, Keith. What happens here? You're an AP top 25 voter. What if Tennessee beat Alabama? What if Georgia beats Tennessee and Alabama beats Georgia? All 3 of those teams, all with 1 loss. One of them would be a conference champion, of course. It would have to be Georgia beating or Alabama beating Georgia in the SEC title game or something along those lines.
Right, and Georgia beating Tennessee in the regular season.
So that scenario happens. I mean, there's no way. There's a way because you know how this works. But there's way. There's way.
I know what you're getting at. All 3 of them make the only help they would need is for the ACC champion to lose a game, the Big Ten champ to lose a game, or the Big 12 champ or the Pac-12 champ. If 4 of those teams lose a game, they're going to put 3 teams from the SEC in.
Well, I mean, if Ohio State wins the Big Ten undefeated, that's the 4th team, but that's 3 SEC teams.
Or Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm saying if Ohio State and Michigan are 11-0, and one of them goes on to win the Big Ten championship, I think they both get in. If they lose the Big Ten championship, one of the 2 get in. If they're both 11-0 at that time.
All right, and I see. By the way, for everyone that's hanging out with us on the ESPN Dayton Facebook page, I appreciate everyone who's tuned in tonight in our ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. A lot of people tuning in on there as well. Real quick, wide open again.
Why is Springfield throwing the football?
Well, they have their second unit in right now.
I know,
too,
but you don't throw the ball. You don't throw the ball. 55-21.
That's Brent
Upshaw. Run the clock. You don't run the ball. You don't throw the ball.
Brent Upshaw, the backup quarterback for Springfield. sophomore, 6'2".
Very
good size, by the way.
Bad blood.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that. I know you want to get him on film throwing the ball in the game, but you just don't do that.
All right.
If anything, a bubble screen or something quick, you don't throw the ball deep down the field.
They handed off on that one on the 3rd and 4. We are under the 2-minute mark, by the way. For those of you joining us, this was not a sports talk show with KB and I, but nonetheless, it's kind of
football game broke out.
Yes,
talk show broke out in the middle of the football game.
But it's 55-21 Springfield over Northmont with about 1:45 to go. But appreciate everyone who's tuning in right now on the Facebook and the YouTube page. Of course, Justin Smith. Shout out to Justin Smith.
Hey, Justin.
He says. He says, let's go Wildcats. So he's been calling that. He's been pulling.
He's a Northwestern fan.
Yeah, he's a big Northwestern fan, right? Yes. By the way, and so someone just sent in a note earlier too, asking how come Springfield is 7-2 or 7-1, going to be 8-1. Did I get the record wrong in the market with this? I said no. Remember, they had that game with St. Ignatius. I believe that would have been back. Was that week 1? Was the game week 1 with St. Ignatius, and that game there was a lightning and just a bunch of bad weather. They didn't make that up, and then they didn't have a game scheduled for game 2. They had a late game scheduled. They had a late game edition in week 2 with the team out of, I believe they played it over in Indianapolis. Point is, they got a game added late. They could have gone without a game in weeks 1 and 2, but they got a game added for week 2 late nonetheless. But explains why they did play one game less than everybody else. So.
Yeah, but they're proving themselves to be a playoff-worthy team. And that other game would have just whoever it may have been, it wouldn't have made a difference in their playoff ranking.
I see a lot. Rebecca Williams said, good job,
Yeah,
Brandon.
they got the victory formation in there.
Real quick, Rebecca Williams says, good job, Brandon Williams. Yes, shout out to Brandon Williams back in the WING studios who held it down all season long for
Brando.
us. Yeah, Brandon, man, I appreciate Brandon. We had Shay Neal, longtime producer for us at WING. He got a job over in Tulsa, and Brandon took on all responsibilities that used to be balanced between him and Shay, and Brandon kicked butt this year. Can't believe we're wrapping up week 10, and that will do it. By the way, the final Springfield 55, Northmont 21, Springfield GWAC champions.
Another season of
yes,
football in the can.
Yeah, that's 6 years for you and I.
Yeah, how about it?
That'll wrap it up for you and I here. But Brandon, I just want to make sure we gave him a shout out because he kicked butt all season.
Thank
he
you,
absorbed
Brandon.
all the responsibilities when Shay left. And this stuff's fun to do, but we can't do it unless we have something reliable back in the studio. So thank you, Brandon. Much appreciated. But Brandon, we're not done with you yet. We need you back in tomorrow morning because Tim Williams and I, we're going to be at Submarine House for the Buckeye pregame. And then, of course, you and I at Frickers on Sunday morning for the Sunday morning tailgate talking. By the way, the Browns are going to be in first place come Monday. I don't know if you know that or not.
Okay.
Listen to this. 3-3 Ravens, 3-3 Bengals. Browns beat the Ravens. They're now 3-4. The Ravens lose. They're 3-4, and then the Bengals lose. They're 3-4, and the Browns would be
like
2.
That.
The Browns would be 2-4. They'd be 2-0 in the AFC North, and that's how they'd be in first.
That's how they
it's
would
called
be
a
in first.
tiebreaker.
Well, my Eagles got we're taking a bye.
Yeah. Cry Eagles, but no.
They're a bye week.
I have to say it.
Undefeated team.
They beat my Cowboys. Fly.
I noticed
Eagles
in your
fly.
contract you have to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, folks. Good stuff. Your final.
Thanks again. Thanks for all listening.
Yes, 55-21. The final here tonight, the Springfield Wildcats over the Northmont Thunderbolts. We appreciate everyone who tuned in all season long and hung out with us each and every Friday night for Friday Night Lights. This has been our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. We're now going to send it back to Brandon Williams in the WING studios. He'll give you all the final scores around the Miami Valley. Brandon, stop the recordings back in the studio. Final note to you. Have a great night, everyone. Until next season, this has been our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, I'm Coach Jim Place, and I'm proud to support Tony Shane for Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge. I've known Tony and his wife Annie for a long time. Something that makes Tony and the great Annie so special is they are a team. They truly care about the citizens of Montgomery County. They were born here, they're raising their family here, and the citizens of Montgomery County are something they care very deeply about. That's why on November 8th, I'm voting for Tony Shane for Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge.
Paid for by citizens to elect Shane.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Are you ready for a mealtime favorite made famous? Then stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and order up a chicken pot pie combo for only $6.49. You'll get chunks of savory premium chicken, carrots, peas, and potatoes in a creamy sauce, all baked in a flaky pastry crust and served with a regular drink. This is comfort food at its finest. Get the meal that's oven fresh and wallet friendly with the chicken pot pie combo. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
When I got the news, I was shocked.
I was scared. I was angry.
When I heard it could be treated with the right care, I was relieved.
I was happy. I was given a second chance.
Urology Specialists of Ohio offers men peace of mind. 5 physicians and 5 locations. Now accepting new patients. Make an appointment with a physician that cares about your health and prevention. Urology Specialists of Ohio, Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. Online at urologyspecialistsofohio.com.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. One bowl prize winner will be chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
When your roommate borrows your car every day, it might be a blind spot. Even having people over to jump around on your trampoline. Yep, it also might be a blind spot. Blind spots are all the surprising things that might need more coverage that you weren't aware of. Good thing Allstate agents can help you find those blind spots while watching out for your wallet.
Call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474. That's 325-2474. Right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street in Springfield. Based on coverage selected, savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is all about that steak. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day. Remember draft beer specials, everyday values, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Good evening, Miami Valley. Brandon Williams here live in the Wing 1410 AM studios, wrapping up things for the night. Springfield was able to take down Northmont 55-21 in our high school football game of the week. Springfield improved to 8-1 to end the season. Northmont ended the season at 500 with a 5-5 record. Now I'm going to update you guys on some other local scores in the area. The Troy Trojans were able to beat Butler 27-20. Tippecanoe won big 63-14 over Greenville. Xenia was able to shut out Sydney by a final score of 34-0. Piqua beat Stebbins 35-15. Springboro was able to beat Miamisburg 34-24. Lebanon lost big to the Wittenwood Warriors. Witten Woods won that game 44-8. Trotwood Madison Rams won big over the Thurgood Marshall Cougars. That game had a final score of 48-8. And we had a great game between Centerville and Wayne. Centerville was able to edge the Wayne Warriors, though, by a final score of 38-35. Fairmont had their way with the Beaver Creek Beavers. They won that game 42-3, and Chaminade was able to beat the Alter Knights by a final score of 49-28. So that wraps things up for the high school football season here on ESPN Wing 1410 AM. We're glad you guys tuned in to listen to us all season. Unfortunately, we don't have the playoffs, the high school football playoffs here on Wing 10 AM, but still, I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed hearing Keith, Justin, and all the other guys who were able to come on and help us during the season. It was a great season. We'll see you guys again next year. But once again, wrapping things up, our final score of this week's game was 55-21, Springfield over Northmont. Brandon Williams here for 1410 AM. We'll see you guys. Well, we'll hear you guys tomorrow morning.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other people.
You can?
Yeah, whether you're looking for a job or a better job, Alpha Media Recruitment can help fill any position with qualified job seekers with a custom plan that combines our broadcast and digital platforms.
You can do that?
It's what we do. Alpha Media Dayton, on air, on site, on demand. Call 937-519-0111. That's 937-519-0111. Or email DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com. That's DaytonJobs@alphamediausa.com.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Hey guys, this is Keenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that AutoTrader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with AutoTrader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home or that I could shop by price on AutoTrader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. AutoTrader.
You need employees.
Tell me about it.
Actually, tell us about it.
Why?
Because when you tell us about your job openings, we can tell over 300,000 other